Okay, so
Sorry.
no, you're right. So last week you managed to successfully sort of cleanse one of the fanes, and you have managed to successfully cleanse the forest fane, and you, as you did so, you found that Madame Eva appeared and basically thanked you for sanctifying her sacred site, and she said to Quinny that she knew that you could do it. And I think if you remember right the way back to when you got pulled in from the Feywild in the first place, there were these sort of voices discussing whether or not Quinny would be an appropriate alcoholic person to fix some of this mess or not, and there were voices going, no, definitely not appropriate, couldn't possibly, and other people going, yeah, I think that, an alternative approach might be the right one. So you successfully prevented Kethlin of the Crooked Teeth from finding a way through. So you would think that she manages to seek opportunity, but you don't think that she can enter Barovia spontaneously, otherwise she probably would have done by now. But saw the opportunity to pull Quinny and then use Quinny as a means of trying to return, which you successfully defeated, and you've pulled the tooth out of Quinny's neck and used it to shut the portal that the hag Morgantha, Auntie Morgan, was creating. And so the forest fae, Madame Eva, basically told you that as a result of that, the staff has gained some additional properties, which you have managed to achieve. So the staff will now grant you effectively an additional cure wounds for up to 6 allies within 60 feet, and that will currently do 1d8 plus 1 healing, but will go up to 2d8 plus 2, 3d8 plus 3 with each fane that is consecrated, so it's effectively a spare shot that renews every day.
And that was 60 feet, sorry?
That's 60 feet.
Did you add the items?
No, I haven't got around to that. That would be useful of me. But I can send you a list if you need to. And that you've also got, non-detection while you're in Barovia. Yeah.
All of it?
Yes. Everybody who was there. So the Lord of the Land has been weakened. He can no longer call upon the power of the forest. He cannot call upon the wolves to aid him. And he will soon discover that the forest fane has been consecrated and it will no longer be safe. So for anyone, so she is going to take the gem and effectively go into hiding until you save her sisters and consecrate the others, and then she has agreed to come and fight with you against Strahd.
That is interesting. How close were we to releasing the fate?
Pardon?
Out of interest, you don't have to tell me, but...
Oh, how long until Caitlin was through?
How close were it?
You have 1 round.
Oh.
Lucky we did what we did then.
You had 1 round, and then you were screwed because
Would the plate have done anything? The fact that I stop at its pieces?
Yeah, and the fact that we kept...
so if you'd let Caitlin in, well, things would have been interesting. if you'd have let Kathleen in. Or it's fine. I mean, Kathleen's got more beef with the Fae that run this place than she's necessarily got with you. So I don't think she'd have necessarily murderized you unless you'd tried to kill her. She would have sought to deal first, but it probably wouldn't have made the whole of the rest of the...
While we're asking behind the screen questions, I've just had a thought. Should we go to Yesterhill first and just knock off another fame before we go get this other gem? Slash, is that possible to do, or do you not have that?
So you have got the blue gem, and you think that Yesterhill is the fane for the mountain fae. So you would need to go. You know where the God only knew where the other one was, and I assume that information was being.
49 latitude east, 46 south.
Well, no, because everybody else was there. So when you went and got lost in the marshland and you found the hut, you know that somewhere down there in those ruins is another fane, which you would. That's the wood fane.
Okay, cool. Never mind.
Which we should probably do when we do the Argos skulls.
Okay, cool.
And you've got a skull that's parked behind the church.
Lovely. So
that's currently being used as a playground / training ground for rogues.
Good for that. Awesome. So we'll get the gem.
So you've got Madame Eva as this elderly Vistana lady that you've met before that drinks heavily, makes good alcohol. When you consecrated this fane, Madame Eva shifts. So Madame Eva is also, I guess, what Quinny would certainly recognise as a fae creature, beautiful woman, faint green skin, golden leaves sort of woven through her hair. Looks much younger, but at the same point, relatively timeless. And she shifts into that and then shifts back again into the Madame Eva that you recognise. And as she does so, the gem disappears with her. So Madame Eva shifts into this, what is obviously this fae woman.
So she's like absorbed the gem.
Hard to know whether it's similar to Quinny when Quinny wild shapes. That she took the gem and then has gone back. She now stands as Madame Eva, and as Madame Eva, there's no evidence of the gem at all.
I think as she does that, Quinny will kind of do like a half thought out curtsy or hand gesture or something, and say a thing in Sylvan of Lady Fair, knowledge or something like that. But it's kind of only half thought out. She's kind of been caught off guard.
Yeah.
Right.
Quinny, she smiles and she goes, Quinny, it is your. She smiles and she says, Quinny, it's your unorthodox lack of regard for the traditional rules and sort of society expectations that made us think that you would be ideal for this particular small job. So don't feel obliged, but it was appreciated as a gesture. And she offers you a flask of straw, and you recognise this as the sort of Vistani gin that she had the first. And she goes, you are welcome to toast your success, if that would be more appropriate.
Absolutely.
Are you sharing it or just drinking?
Oh, yeah.
The second that she pulls out the bottle,
Yeah.
for a 90-year-old man, I'm still in the cup stuff.
I fill it absolutely to the brim for the small.
Okay. And as you drink Madame Eva's gin, you will get 10 temporary hit points.
Can I get that, considering I can't consume?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
It's poured over my head.
10 HP or 10
10 HP. And she reminds you of the Taroka reading, some of which you remembered, some of which had sort of passed you by, and seems to have a reasonable level of knowledge of what you've been up to and what's going on. Whether that's gossip, whether that's she sees more than it appears, hard to know. So you head back, I'm assuming, with Madame Eva. She has a carriage outside. Looks like a Vistani wagon, sort of covered wagon. You've seen it.
Like she's not in real form.
No. She now looks exactly like the woman that she looks totally corporeal. And she looks exactly like the woman who read your fortunes while Zephyr danced badly round the campfire several weeks ago. And you get in this wagon. You recognise this is her wagon that was down at the Zeppel. And she's like, we will go to the camp outside Valakia. It is closer. And it sets off up the road.
So we're getting a lift.
Yeah, if you want one, you can walk if you'd prefer. That's fine. So you end up at the Vistani encampment, which I don't think you've been to, on the outside of the west gate of Valaki. No. Okay.
No, where's the first one? I think
That was the brewery.
Yeah. So you've been to where she was based previously. So the there you go. So as you're clattering along, you can see sort of what appears to be a small sort of tented city almost, but it doesn't, not like a slum dwelling. It looks much neater and tidier and more welcoming than when you went into Valaki. There's sort of merriment, and you can hear music and singing and dancing as you approach. And Madame Eva, you hear people sort of hailing. Put some tokens in. You hear people hailing greetings as Madame Eva drives this wagon into.
So where has Madame Eva been somewhere and we've rescued her or something, or is she just?
No, Madame Eva lives primarily in the Vistani encampment down at the Zeppel. But the Vistani travel. The Vistani travel in Barovia, and that's not in any way unusual. Who have I not pulled in? Malachi. And it Madame Eva. There we go. And here you go. Okay, I'll turn some lights on. There you go. Have some lights. So there's a fire.
Fire?
It's a campfire, contained fire. It's not on fire. If you wish to be
That's what
frightened,
it looks like.
feel free. It looks like scary towering inferno. There's
She
people
just kind of
scattering
hides
around.
behind Malachi.
You recognise one person as the sort of Vistani man that was accused of murdering.
Hey, it's Innocent Joe.
Yes, Innocent Joe, who was accused of murdering the woman at the Arasek stockyard. That Izek was desperately trying to pin it on the Vistani who lived outside the camp. And you see him knocking around. Everybody seems pretty chilled. There's music, there's dancing, very much the same as at the Zerpal when you met them
They were
previously. doesn't appear to be. There's
Just
no.
like the-
They recognise Madame Eva, and they welcome her. Madame Eva's been around a very long time. Well-known Vistani woman. And Madame Eva is like, make yourselves at home. The camp is yours. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. There is food. There is drink. It is safe to stay here if you wish to do so. And enjoy. Our camp is yours. If you wish a further reading, you are welcome to have one.
Yeah.
You're
You haven't had one yet.
Try me.
Try you.
Do we know what that means?
Well, you've all had your cards read with Madame Eva before. So when you met Madame Eva the first time, she did a couple of things. She drew 2 cards, or you drew 2 cards for each of you in terms of insights into you as a person and your what you might be doing or why you are here. It was all relatively cryptic and not particularly clear, and you thought she was a drunk old biddy who lived in a tent and was a bit random, but you didn't want to offend her, I think was the gist. And then she drew some cards that foretold of the location of some key items that may help you on your quest, and of allies, and of information required to potentially defeat Strahd. Do you want reminding of those key bits of information?
I would like to take notes, please.
The notes are in the folder, if you want the actual
Could you
notes.
pop that folder back in the chat?
Yeah. It's the Curse of Strahd documents shared folder.
I saved all the documents, but not the one.
Okay, no, it's fine. I can put it in. So she she drew a song. She drew a card about guidance on your travels, and she drew the 7. So the card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient that will help you understand your enemy. A dark book. And the card that she drew was the 7 of Glyphs, which is the charlatan, the card of tricksters. Watch carefully and take nothing for granted. A young nobleman seeks power. A prized book such as this would be of value. Seek him out in Vallaki.
Okay, so that's probably the Book of Evil Deeds and the guy that killed the Necromancer. The Watcher's son, who's doing the experiments with the
That wasn't the
sigil.
Watcher's son, that was the Burgomaster's son. The
Oh,
book
was it?
was in the Watcher's house.
I
You've
was
got a couple
thinking
of books.
It was the guy that had that was mates with Strahd, that had the teleportation circle with Strahd's castle.
Yeah, it could be. I thought the guy who was doing the Telephone Necromancer sigil wasn't he the Watcher's son?
No,
I didn't
he
find
was
that
the
book.
Burgomaster's son. He was
What's
in
his
the
Victor.
Oh,
He was
Victor.
he was the Burgomaster son. He was in that. You found him after you assassinated the Burgomaster up in the attic.
And did we find
He
the book in his
tortured
house?
he tortured Stella Watcher and turned her into a cat.
Okay, so
Kind of.
he and the book weren't in the same place. Okay.
No.
maybe not.
The other book that you found is the Tome of Strahd, which
Have
was
the
the dark,
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
we
got
read
that.
Oh my
which
God.
was
Which
in
was
the
with- what's his-
behind.
Yeah, in the chat room.
the Sullivan Hall?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
in his escape room.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
So, the second card tells of a powerful force of good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. And the card was the One of Swords, which is the Avenger. Justice and revenge for great wrongs, those on a quest to rid the world of great evil. This treasure lies in a dragon's house, in hands once clean and now corrupted.
Argynvost?
Did we go into Argynvost?
No.
No.
Oh,
You saw the statue of a dragon outside and went to hunt dragons.
God.
And then you got lost in a swamp, then you found the skull.
We got lost. Okay, so we should go back to Argynvost.
We tried to go back to there, but it wouldn't
You
Yeah,
just kept going around in circles, getting further and further into the
Yeah,
swamp.
okay. Do we feel like it would be possible to get back there, or does that?
You got to Arkenvoss first. Arkenvoss was on the edge of the forest. You saw the dragon, and Godot went, that would be a silver dragon, and we are looking, and then this big green dragon that you fancied killing flew over the top, and you followed it out into the swampland, and then couldn't find. You turned round and walked back, and ended up further in the swamp.
And that's towards the direction of the water phase. Okay, so we're
So
heading.
we do that.
We'll head that on.
Okay.
It would probably be a big fight, possibly, though, because
The-
it's set to be dragons.
The third card was a card of power and strength. It tells us a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. And
Sorry.
the card was the Seven of Swords, the hooded one. Deceit, evil, stupidity, bigotry, and intolerance. I see a faceless god. He awaits you at the end of a long and winding road deep in the mountains.
Maybe the Ember Temple.
And then the fourth card was the card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. And the card was the mists, something unexpected or mysterious that cannot be avoided. A Vistana wanders this land alone, searching for her mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at St. Malkovia's Abbey, near the mists.
That's where I wanted to go.
Did you seek her out?
We
No,
haven't been.
of course not. They've forgotten about this. This is a recap. Okay, and then the fifth and final card was your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. And that was the broken one. Defeat, failure and despair, the loss of something or someone important, without which one feels incomplete. He haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all.
What do I hang on to?
We should have
No,
you
no, no,
first
no,
in
no,
the
no,
beginning.
No, she's not-
This
no, we-
changes things. No, this changes.
No, we
There's been
have
a
the
missing
note
piece of like
No,
all
we
the
have
lore.
a note taker.
So the person who haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all, correct me if I'm wrong, Emma, but Kazan, the guy who we're going to visit, is said to either inhabit his spirit, inhabits either the tower or Castle Ravenloft. We thought he inhabited the tower, but if this is what that card says, then
I
he
didn't even know
inhabits.
it was there.
Am I connecting
so-
the right dots here?
No. So,
Oh,
well, no. You might.
Potentially.
Potentially. There
you
are
might be on
dots.
the right track.
There are dots.
Wait, no,
Have you
that's
seen
cool.
my favourite picture of the dots? The dots, and then data, information, insight,
Okay, well, there are
wisdom,
customs.
conspiracy theory. This would be a unicorn. Connect the dots a different way. No, so your enemy is a creature of darkness whose
Oh, it's
powers
the creature of darkness that
are
haunts
beyond
the tomb.
mortality. This card will lead you to him.
Oh,
How do we
I'm
get
just-
this?
So, the broken one. The card was the broken one, which represents defeat, failure, and despair. The loss of something or someone important, without which one feels incomplete. He haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all.
I think that's just talking about Strahd. And he lost like his missus and his wife.
Sorry, I was reading it as this is the person who was haunting.
No.
I was
Why?
thinking the tomb then of the man who
I think you have the books to figure that out.
Who it is?
Interesting.
But I'll let you do that, and then if you can't do that, you can roll inside. But I think you'll probably figure it out. I think you've got the resources to figure that out in the backpack. And
So-
Antoinette is now in the backpack with the books by the looks of it.
What do I do? Long rest here and then head over to that wizard town? I mean, I'm good to go, but I think I was the only one who wasn't.
Yeah, that's because you turned into a giant, huge
Is
slope.
it one of the Argonauts? The Silver Dragon?
So Silver Dragon is at
I'm
is
doing
outside
pretty
of
well.
and that is the
Long
skull
rest
that
is
you've
very
been cruising around.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Because I know, like, is
What's
it
the-
Vladimir haunts
I
the...
would like to long rest so I get my
So you think that the final?
Yeah.
Well, you can ask her. And you can ask Madame Maker if you want to.
Is that
ask
I'll
her.
bring out the book and I'll point to the thing on Vladimir. And I'll say, is this the one? Sorry. Is this the one?
That's Argonvost. What about Argonvost? It is the house
I was
of
a
the
bit iffy
dragon.
about it the first time.
Mm.
But
Hang on. No, I've forgotten the lore. I need to read the lore again. She's like,
what you know from, if I remember which book it's in, probably Book of Kings, is that underneath.
oh, that's the one thing I don't have the notes from.
Is that underneath Castle Ravenloft are many tombs.
Oh.
So you know that there's many that the family tombs of all the kings sit underneath Castle Ravenloft. So you would.
Endurovich?
There might be like a secret entrance we can use.
So
Oh yeah, that would make sense then. How we get
How
to
it left as
There's
well.
a
we get
gun.
to-
There's a gun in the
There's a
Oh,
gun?
No, because we need to get
what?
to
Yeah.
where
What?
Where he
Okay.
recovers.
I don't know,
That's
it was
where we need to
described
get
as a
to.
metal
Oh,
staff that can shoot metal. It
what
sounds
it
like a gun.
Ah.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
No, yeah,
We need
okay.
to find his
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that?
friends that are in tune and working together?
Yeah, because that might not be
Wait,
possible.
who's friend?
These two, they're going up.
I
I'm
don't
saying,
know, I'm
like-
just
and then I'm
jumping.
just like here.
The whole thing of we need to find how to
And
get to
find
him.
your-
I think it's not like we know he's in Castle Ravenloft, but we don't know where his coffin is. Where he
Yeah.
actually
Just
we need to
coffin.
kill him and then kill him again in his coffin.
Yeah.
So his coffin might be somewhere else, which is like where he's referring to. I think.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that could be the tower.
Yeah. Where I mean, that could also just be that there's probably a tomb of a man Strahd envied, and that's where his coffin is. In that man's tomb.
So there is a book that you
and we have
have.
the Book of Strahd.
So you've got Strahd's diary.
Yeah.
You got that from.
Can one of us do a check to read through that book and find the answer?
It's. I don't think it's in there. So you have a book.
We knew about someone.
Yeah.
You
So
have a
you can
book.
send us all this
that-
stuff again. I'll read through all of this.
Okay, so there is. All right.
I'll do
So
I've got a
of
note
course,
stock. You can add all the.
let me see if I can find it.
Oh,
So-
We're just going to do a thesis on
For
the
God's
Lord
sake.
Strahd.
So there is a
Yeah,
book
solve a mystery.
which you have.
I know it's music, but shush. And then we'll sing
Let me
the
see.
answer. I don't know.
Curse of Strahd documents. I think you have it.
I'll just write music to like one of the books, and then like analyze this song using the musical elements.
And in the
What
year
is the story?
396,
We're
the
doing
Knights of
narratives.
Ravenloft
We're doing narratives and music. I want you to tell me what the narrative is trying to tell you.
So there is a book that you found in the or you won't have read it. You won't have read it.
Oh, it's
You
not in the thing.
you found it. Let me move it and then you can see it. You found it. Where is it? In the. There you go.
Burgomaster's house.
Yeah,
There you go.
I think it was
There you go.
the
Should be in there now. Called The Lords of Barovia.
Oh no, we had that one.
Yeah? Have you got it?
Yeah.
So skim The Lords of Barovia. In fact, I'll just pull it up. That's probably easier,
Oh
isn't
no,
it?
I thought
There you
I thought I
go.
read this one.
There's two. There's Kings of Barovia.
Is it
And there's Lords of Barovia. So this is Lords of Barovia. And it basically goes through the succession of all of the Lords of Barovia and then a little bit about who is who and who is where, and it's a whole load of history, and then here is where they all are.
yes, and one of them will be the person Strahd admired, and that'll be where
Oh, I
his
don't know.
coffin is. Right?
So
I like
that book, so the Lords of Barovia, outlines
Yeah, and then
all
we need to
of
find
the crypts that sit underneath Castle Ravenloft.
that makes sense.
So, Prince Ariel de Plumet, Lady Maria Markovia. Great was her beauty undone by a jealous hand.
Jealous hand.
Sir Leonard
Yeah, well, that
Krushkin. Bigger than life, he loved his jewellery. There might be something there, who knows? Sir Eric Wunderbooks.
Can someone with an intelligence score do a check?
I can-
I've got +3 on intelligence. I surely Quinny's not the smartest
I am
one.
No, I've got
definitely
Foster
not the
as well.
smartest.
Yeah, cool.
But on history specifically, I've got Foster.
Oh, awesome. I don't have history proficiency. I'll give you a help action guidance, though.
Okay,
So you get advantage and a d4.
intelligence is fine, but I can't read. That'll be a 19
Of the
Yeah, it is a gun.
in
I
history.
knew it was a gun.
of the history. So you recognise some of these names. I mean, most of it is detailed in terms of who all these people were. Is detailed in this book, so you can go through so Barovia before Strahd was a nice chunk of land in the material plane that had a succession of kings and rulers, as lands do, and generally people worshipped the Fanes, the pagan society. The Morning Lord moved in, and worship moved towards the church and away from the natural sort of pagan worship of the Fanes. And then Strahd, and as head of the army of his father, invaded Barovia at that time, and then eventually became ruler of Barovia. And then most of the descent of Strahd into how Strahd is now is in his diary, I think. So what you know is that there were crypts which had sort of all of those successive lineages of royal people, the grounds of which Castle Ravenloft was then built.
Maybe
So
King
underneath
Ravenloft before him, maybe
Castle Ravenloft, there are lots and lots and lots of crypts.
Yeah.
With Malachi, with that history in your religion, you would absolutely know that in order to kill Strahd, you need to defeat Strahd, and that he will then retreat to whichever casket it is that he resides in, where he will regenerate over a number of days or weeks, depending on how damaged he is, and that he can only be truly defeated if killed within that
So we need to find the right
casket.
coffin.
So you need to find the right coffin.
What a great place to put your coffin if you're a vampire.
And it would appear, according to that book, that there's at least 37 vaults down there, only some of which are detailed.
It's hidden somewhere in the North Street. So a place full of coffins. I'm trying to find the right book.
Yep. So you have to kind of find him before he gets enough strength to get up again.
Okay, but
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Madameva is
So,
continuing to drink while smiling to herself.
Who it is that
he envied above.
he ended up with. Is
I
that
would reckon it's got something to do with the fact that all of his misses the same.
could be? Can I, when we're talking about something like envy, can I maybe insight check if Quinny reads through the diary, can I try and insight check if I know who this person might be?
Yep.
Is that
Go
alright?
for it. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna
You go for it.
guidance myself.
Let's have a look. Thomas Strahd.
That's a
Oh, I haven't really read the Tome
20
Strahd because I can't read the handwriting.
that's a 23.
Okay, there's a couple of people that you would think. So in terms of the bigger history, it's almost like it's like a whole load of things fall into place. The Irina, Vash's mother,
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana,
Mm-hmm.
the
Lissa.
Lissa, is that all these identical women, and in the sort of the history of this place, Tatiana was the wife of Strahd's brother, Sergei,
Serge.
his younger brother, younger and much more handsome and slightly less psychopathic.
That helps.
Yeah, and Strahd desperately wanted to marry Tatiana, and Tatiana said no and married his brother. And then at some point during that wedding, Tatiana may or may not have fallen to her death from the balcony of Castle Ravenloft.
So maybe his brother's tomb. Can I?
Do we know his name?
You know that the
Sergei?
brother was Sergei.
Sergei Velapovich?
You also know that not all of those tombs are detailed in that book. There are ones that are missing.
I heard his campaigns have like Eastern European first name.
Sergei.
Apart from Auntie Morgan, she's
No,
from
yeah.
Wigan.
Or-
Yeah, the only Wigan one, but yeah.
She's from Wigan.
Quinny will share that
Yeah.
insight then.
So there are many people that you think again with an insight like that, you think Strahd's pretty egotistical,
Yeah.
and you think it's unlikely he would feel inferior to any of the previous kings of Barovia because he defeated all of them
Yeah.
and he's still here. So you think it's unlikely he was jealous of any of them. The one thing he does appear to be entirely obsessed by is people who appear to look like Tatiana.
Quinny will ask, or maybe it's a check. Do we
And she
know
didn't love
what
him.
happened to his brother?
Yeah, you can probably, be history or insight. You can,
I'd love if it's inside.
Which book is it with Strahd?
Hell yeah.
Brother stuff. Yeah.
one of them.
28.
That Strahd,
Quinny's like holding books to her forward to osmosis them.
you've not read it. You have, it's on the Whispered Histories. So you got history from Jenny the Tea Lady about what had been going on. Sergei got murdered.
Yeah.
Tatiana didn't seek solace in the arms of his remaining brother and killed herself.
Right.
So is how the story goes, that
Okay.
rather than marry Strahd, Tatiana killed herself, and the thinking is that Strahd killed his brother, and that some part of that fratricide was the thing that sealed whatever deal he had done with the Dark Powers, because it was at the point that Sergei died that the mists descended
Okay.
and Barovia became locked in the state that it's currently in.
I think the other thing Quinny will probably say to everyone is something to the point of like, I don't think we should talk about this with anyone. I think this is a big thing we need to keep up ourselves. But we know that we might know the Strahd's practice. It's probably information you don't want anybody else to know.
Got it.
I don't want them to know.
Madam Eva at this is just sort of watching, watching all the sort of the strings on the corkboard, and smiling to herself, in a almost smug kind of way, like she was right to make the choices that she had made.
Telepathically speak with me.
Yeah.
So, like, do you definitively know
Where
the coffin is?
I have never been within Castle Ravenloft. The only one of the sisters that has been within the castle was Laura, the mountain fame. She was captured, but the rest of us never entered the castle itself.
Something else too, or are we?
Yeah, we're doing.
I think we're doing a long rest.
Oh, and we're doing the
Reading.
the reading.
Oh, yes.
You could do those
New
before or
reading
after
for-
long rest. I'm easy, whichever you
We
prefer.
got a long rest, didn't we?
You can have a long rest, yeah, certainly.
Okay.
You're not going to get randomly attacked in the Vistani camp.
Do
I
we
can tell you.
keep our temp HP?
Yeah. You're probably continuing to drink, so I will allow you to wake with your temporary HP, because I assume you're going to have special Vistani alcohol for breakfast.
To leap frog over this fire?
Pardon?
Can I reattempt to leap frog over this fire and dance?
You can reattempt to leapfrog
Can I
over the
try to
fire
subtly
and
give
dance.
guidance?
You can subtly or unsubtly give guidance.
Oh, well, this is working out a little bit better than last time.
Nice.
I'm just
Last
gonna
time
make
you
sure
fell
you're
in the
nearby
fire.
so you don't try copying.
I assume this will be acrobatics.
Yeah. Or performance, whichever you'd prefer.
Oh. It doesn't really matter. That is 21.
You cartwheel right the way up to the fire and then do like a handspring straight the way over the top and land on the other side, much less drunk than the last time you attempted this. And yeah, there's lots of cheering and all the loots are out, people are playing.
I do have an extra set of hands now. So
That must be a mean cartwheel. You know?
So yeah,
You
there's
tried to do
a
this
huge
before?
amount of celebration. People are happy to see the entertainment, and then what you see is lots of the Vistani just get up and start walking through the fire, cartwheeling over the fire. Like this fire is not a big deal at all. It's almost like yay!
Drink of that and just immediately pass
Yeah.
Because I rolled like a 1 on the
that's why I
constitution
thought I
check.
was I passed out drunk.
Yeah, you were passed out drunk and tried to
And that's
dance.
why I never read the cards.
Uh,
Because I was dancing and then I passed out.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want more cards?
Yes, I do.
Do we know what this does?
You
more
want
mechanical?
cards.
I want cards full stop if that's
What,
okay.
in terms of the cards?
Yeah.
No, she's prepared to. So your original reading gave you an idea of a sense of self and a sense of purpose.
Okay.
So I guess the question is, what do you want to ask?
I think things are better.
What would you like to... Do you want cards?
Yeah.
Sense of self, sense of purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
If you all
Become a
don't
real
mind.
boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, probably not firm.
Pick a card, any card.
Pick two then. Sorry, I had it. So I had normal deck of cards with my Taroko backs on them, which are pretty cool. So you can pick any cards you like. They're not not suited, so you can't tell from the other side which card you're looking at.
I'm gonna get.
Choose whichever
Oh.
ones you like. Go for it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
choose. You take.
Feel the whole
Just
thing.
don't feel.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
feel
take
it.
the Joker
Oh, valid.
and the Ace of Hearts.
Ooh. Ooh. Interesting.
The Raging
Interesting.
Inferno.
Well, no, just in terms of interesting.
Funny but not.
Interesting
real card.
combination. So, in terms of
We went from Pinocchio to The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for the Living Within movie? No.
Yeah, I actually think it looks like it's going to be a good film. I just think it's miscast.
where are we?
Because I love like all those people. I just think they're better in other roles.
Yeah.
Like the lady that's playing Elphaba, I forget her name, but she was on I actually saw her. I remember I was playing Glinda. And I think she's way too likable to be Glinda. Like Glinda should be a real bitch.
Oh yeah.
And I just don't see any venom in any of her own running. I'm like, you're too likable. I really like you, and I don't hate you.
Even the sentences that were supposed to be like
Sorry.
bitchy,
Yeah,
you
really
could pull
bitchy.
this
Yeah.
out
I'm
when
like,
they were
I
given
still,
the hat.
I still feel like you're
nothing.
nice. There's no venom there.
Jonathan Bailey's in that. Who's that Bridget?
Yeah.
So you've got
But yeah, the girl and the girl's playing
Oh,
Elphaba. I saw
oh,
her on
cool.
Broadway. She's like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. But it's just she's different. She's got a different kind of
I
power
don't like
to her
that they're
voice.
splitting it into two movies.
Oh, yeah, that's weird too.
Although I will say, with
So-
plays and musicals that have an intermission, movies do mind.
you're who you are. So you, 9 of Stars. So 9 of Stars, the Joker. The 9 of Stars
The Conjurer.
is the Conjurer. Okay? The Conjurer represents the coming of an unexpected threat, a supernatural presence. The ones who think of themselves as God, as separate, as different in some way, not of a worldly nature. And Master of Stars is Stars, the wizard. Okay? Mystery and riddles. The unknown. The craving of magical power. And the development of great knowledge.
Books.
Books and knowledge and power and magics.
And that's the wizard that will do your heart.
Yeah.
The things that you seek to be. The things that you are. So conjurer, it's
So I am
coming
conjurer.
a supernatural threat of some kind, separate like a god, not of a mortal sense.
Okay. Antoinette's just like, I don't understand any of this, but thank you.
You like books, my dear. It would appear the cards also think you like books.
I just start showing Madame
Knowledge.
Eva all my illustrations, little crayon illustrations I put in the book.
Beautiful, beautiful. Madame Eva looks at them and the crayon illustrations start to dance. They look more like animated, like cartoons dancing across the page as she looks at them. She goes, very lovely, dear. Holly, do you want an updated...
Sure.
we know what you are, but why you are here and what you're trying to achieve. Draw a new card. Let's see what you were. So you were, in terms of your purpose, you were the Six of Swords. You were the Berserker. So you were the hero, sword at the ready to defend or attack. The sun's rays gleaming, the wolf's head, representing inspiration and insight, an unexpected ally. And then your purpose was Six of Swords, the Berserker. Your keen mind is balanced by brutality and bloodlust. The song of blades sings in your heart and cries out for chorus. The ice-clad mountains will echo your songs to the voice of your ancestors. Okay. Ooh. The illusionist. Interesting. So the illusionist, the face behind the mirror, represents lies and deceit, conspiracy, secrets, the presence of a something that is not what it seems. An ally in hiding or a saboteur.
Yeah.
It is not possible to tell. But what things first appear to be may not be exactly what they seem. Malachi. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Malachi, you were the bishop, the regal priest, sitting proudly on a throne, hand raised in commanding gesture, representing strict moral code, stern, unyielding adherence to some honour, but also a controlling presence behind seemingly unrelated events. And previously were the Four of Stars, the Abjura, symbolising knowledge and understanding, the seeking of knowledge and logic, an investigator studying some form of spiritual entity.
Do you want two or just one? Well, he's chosen two.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, we already know what you are. It's what you've become.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So, Master of Swords. Interesting.
Yeah. You
So
have
less
sense
from the
knowledge.
spiritual and the pursuit of understanding and knowledge, and more strengthen force, using force of will and force of arms to achieve their goals. An interesting departure from seeking to understand the spiritual nature of your beliefs. As they often are. Zephyr, are you too busy dancing to pull a card, or are you?
I choose not to care about what happens in the future.
Valid.
I live in the moment.
Wise.
The way the moment goes.
Wise. Your dancing has improved since I last saw you. The extra hands help. Etherdwe.
Any card?
Pick a card, any card.
Any card. Etherdwe the thief.
But sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
Are you alright? So you were the 7 of coins, you were the thief.
I mean, now it's going to be you're not the thief, you're the kid of the Assassin's Guild.
No, so you were the thief, which represents loss, and that so it's about losing things that are important, and you had the raven, which foretold of information, finding information and forces of good. This is the ghost, and the ghost tells of a looming past, and that there is a return of some old, long forgotten enemy, or discovery of a secret that was buried long ago. So.
Okay, with Quinny next one.
I thought Quinny was not interested in anything other than drinking. Of course, Quinny may take her.
Quinny's heard vagueness.
Yeah, vague mysticism. Oh, those look awesome. Those are like
Delancey vibe Yagas.
Baba Yaga boots.
Yeah.
I would totally wear Baba Yaga boots.
Oh my god.
But it's
That
the
is
name.
totally AI generated, sure.
Is the name.
I hope it's AI generated, but if it wasn't, I would wear Baba Yaga boots.
The Yagas.
It's amazing how easy it is.
Oh.
AI.
I'm trying to think it with writing.
So Quinny, you were the 5 of Glyphs, the druid, representing the balance of nature and the neutrality of fauna and flora, and the value of allowing things to unfold without directly trying to control or influence. And then the shepherd, the 4 of Glyphs, watching their flock, but a wolf was lurking amongst the sheep, and representative of an ambivalence towards some of the cruelty within nature, that a turmoil between, or trying to resolve a turmoil between nature as it should be and nature as it currently is. This is the dictator, and the dictator is the eight of swords, and this represents the man in flames, burning in a pyre. Kind of,
Jesus.
it's a bit like the centre of Valaki on a bad day. Is that this represents the destruction of people who rule through fear and violence, about the understanding of what is wrong within corrupt society, with government and leadership, and destruction of those established ways of being. So it would appear you've gone from being ambivalent about stuff to take down, destroy.
Also,
Right.
you were like captured and tortured for ages. So you're probably a bit pissed off.
Slightly less ambivalent.
So less ambivalent and more some people just deserve to be set on fire, and dictatorship deserves to be taken down. Good for Quinny.
Character arc.
That's character development, Quinny. Okay, so you have had your long rest.
Yes.
You have some new purpose of some description. Where of the list of places you might like to go, would you, before I figure out which maps I'm loading up, where would you actually like to go?
I think we're still doing Kazan's
Kazan.
Castle, yeah?
So there
Oh,
were
that's-
there were a list of places that you might like to go. Do you want me to pull the map up?
No, I think we're good. I think
You're
we're
good.
Going to the last gen Kazan's Castle.
So you're going to Kazan's. Okay.
Then Abbey?
Yeah.
Alright. I'd say then yes to Hill to put the gem back, but we can sort that once we have the gem. But I think the Abbey might actually be quite close to it now. So that's probably not a bad idea.
It's also got something. Which is
Pardon?
From my notes.
You mean the Amber Temple?
So the Amber Temple was actually it's actually right the way through the mountains, very relatively close to where the Brotherhood of Contemplative Power were. So
We should definitely visit the tower before the end.
you may find that Zephyr may or may not know anything about that. He may or may not have been there. Yeah. So you're heading towards. You're going to try and find the Wizard's Tower. Okay. So let's find the map. Let's find the map. Map.
So
Okay.
an island in a lake.
It is. So.
Top of the lake.
Yeah. No, I think it's working. It just might not have any ice in it. Is it set to water? Press the thing on the front.
And the setting sun of the last light of doomsday.
Yes.
It's probably just frozen into the spout after defrost it. So you can either reach in and grab some ice out. Feel free. Okay, so you are round about here at the Vistani camp, and you think that the Wizard's Tower is probably somewhere in this lake up here. Up there. So is that where you're heading?
Yes.
Yeah.
Onward.
That's
Okay.
To the top.
All right. So you set out with your newly Quinny. You find that your staff is it looks exactly the same, but sometimes when you turn it, this sort of wooden staff, it's almost like it's got green, like almost like moss running in the grain of the wood that you're pretty sure wasn't there before. And you head out along this path. You go out. You see as you're heading along. You've walked this path before. It's the way that you went when you came down this way, which is where Yester Hill is, and the Wizard of Wines is down here. So you've sort of been along this path. You recognise where you are. You don't come across anything. You walk through the forest. And then you come, as you're heading out, you see in the background the mountains. So you see the mountains before you see the lake as you're walking along this sort of forested track, it's a good day's walk. So you set off in the morning, you're going at an easy pace, you see nothing of any interest along the way, and you see, why would that be configured to need tokens? It's like, why? You don't need tokens. There you go. You see what appears to be a cold, clear mountain lake. It's almost idyllic. for Barovia, which is saying a little. It's enclosed by sort of woods on. It's almost like I guess in a cul-de-sac with woods on two sides and then mountains. You can turn that off if you want. Mountains heading up behind. There's rocky bluffs up in the back, and you can hear birds flying around, which is interesting because you've not really heard a lot of life in these woods and things before. Yeah. The trail that you've been following ends at what appears to be a causeway that stretches out across this water towards this island in the middle of the lake. You can see that the island itself from this distance looks relatively flat, pretty small, looks marshy rather than dry. That's about all you can tell. And the tower itself looks old. There's sort of gaps in the rocks on the side. There's bits of roof missing. It looks time-worn and collapsing. Yeah, it appears to be lit compared to the rest of Barovia.
And how far from, we're obviously on the shore, how far across the lake is the island?
The lake, it's about 100 yards maybe. No, it's not a huge way
Can
out.
on the causeway or the marshy area next to us, can I see a water line at all? As if the tide is down currently?
Make a perception check.
That's not amazing. 15.
With a 15, you can't see this water moving at all. You
As
think
in, like,
this is
unnaturally still?
No, it just appears to be still. It doesn't appear to be tidal.
Okay.
Would be your immediate thought. So you
Okay.
don't think that this is low
So
tide
it's
or
not
high
like
tide.
it's going to flood the causeway.
No, you just think that this is a route that's being built across to this tower.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to be particularly well used or well trodden.
Not a
You
bad
can
thing.
see parked at the very base of the tower is a sort of barrel-topped wagon that appears to be spattered in mud and just sitting
that's
there.
the kids.
I can say 2 questions.
Hmm?
If you turn a 6 seconds and you continually move every turn for that 6 seconds, that's your movement, do you ever stop moving?
Say that
What?
again. Sorry.
6th edition never clarifies that. It's an extremely important distinction for a bunch of monk
It
buildings.
is.
It really annoys me
Do you
Say that
stop moving
Yep.
at the end.
if you move every, and then your turn? Like you physically stop moving.
So I would say from a mechanics point of view, probably yes, because otherwise it's absolutely ridiculous. But realistically, probably actually not, because that makes no sense at all.
Consider maybe dash action does it.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
just movement doesn't.
Yeah, because you do have a bonus action as well and a free
But then the
action.
problem is monks can also dash on a bonus action. So
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a key point,
Mm-hmm.
and as this path stops, I'm just going to keep walking, and I'm going to bonus action dash.
Okay.
And
You know
I'm just
there's a
gonna walk
causeway.
across.
You don't have to walk
There
on
is
the
a
water.
causeway to the bridge.
Yeah, but that's boring. I'm just gonna walk across.
All right. Go for your life.
I just don't stop. You just see him like walking
Just
across
say
the
that
water.
just this whole
Oh,
time.
I can do that trick too. Not at the
Can
moment,
you?
but
The water's nice.
I
and
will
my
be
feet.
soon.
I don't have that spell anymore.
Have we done a campaign or an adventure in one game where we did have a wizard's tower on an island? Or did
Yeah.
I just dream that?
No, it's the Chronicles.
Didn't you
Yeah.
run that?
Dude, you ran that, yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you ran that.
One shot set in Randall. where
You
we
ran
went
that.
to
We were the police. There were police people. We had to go across a bridge and up a tower. We couldn't get into the tower. It was an obsidian tower. It was
And
all
then Zara showed
smooth.
up at the end
There was a
and decided to do it
murderer.
wrong.
You ran it.
That was my idea.
Yes.
That's all right.
That's
Carry
why
on,
it's,
everybody.
that's why it's familiar. Yeah. God's sake. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard so far. Is I've had there's been a thing about a tower. Yeah, you wrote it.
It's okay.
your
Honestly,
tower.
I wouldn't remember either.
Yeah, it's been
I remember.
4 years.
Okay.
It has to be.
You go across. You get to the other side. You see a wagon and a tower.
Can I just do like
There's a
simple
wagon
perception check just to, like,
parked at the bottom of the tower.
look inside the wagon?
Guidance.
Does the wagon look like the
distant guidance. He's well gone. He's across the pond.
I mean, guidance is 60 foot, so
one? Is
It's
the
a-
wagon
I'm looking across the-
So 100 yards across the causeway.
Oh,
Is that
so-
more than 60 foot?
sorry, have we not crossed the
Well, I
crossed
don't
the
know.
causeway?
You crossing? He ran across the
I'm
causeway
crossing.
on
I
a
thought
dash
you
and a
just said
bonus
we
stuff.
crossed the
No,
causeway.
Dave,
Oh, okay.
Dave,
Dave,
Zephyr ran
I would've-
across
I
the
would've gone
water.
across.
You just go-
I slowly start skipping along the causeway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Skip, skip.
I can turn it
I put my hand
efficient
out for you to hold.
I
I would constantly.
Although quicksand is out.
Sorry,
Oh, that was a terrible roll.
character growth.
Emma, is that the same wagon?
Everyone else is
Do we
like
recognize
some
it
other
as a
thing.
familiar wagon?
You don't recognise this one, but you recognise that there were wagons of this design.
It looks Vistani,
It does look Vistani.
Okay. Every wagon.
17 perception.
Okay, this looks like it's completely crusted over with many layers of mud. It's got sort of glossy purple paint somewhere underneath all of that mud. The wheels have got this sort of intricate gold trim. So if this was cleaned, this would be a really nice wagon. It's got a brass lantern dangling gracefully from each corner of the overhang at either end. It's got this sort of warm glow, which seems to penetrate into the fog. It almost seems to drive back the fog a little bit. There are.
Can I take the lantern?
I was going to say one of the should.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to happen when you do that. There are red drapes sort of hanging at the windows. You can't see in through those. They appear to be drawn, and the back door is closed with a padlock, with a sign saying "Keep out," hanging on the door.
I know that this
That's
is
probably something
muddy
nasty
and
locked in
dirty and stuff, but does this look like it's been
We
used
just take it out anyway.
recently? And it's just dirty? Or does it look like it's old and been here for years?
Roll insight probably.
Have we
Can
got
I?
across the causeway yet?
Yeah.
23,
Oh, wonderful. The guidance is needed.
23. Okay, let's turn that 23 into a 24.
It's
Okay.
always a one.
You think that this is deliberately not clean. So either this is a wagon for somebody who doesn't want to be found, or really doesn't care about upkeep. One of the two. You think it's a little odd. You think it would be much more noticeable if it was clean, like it would be ostentatiously parked at the
What,
bottom
like-
of this tower.
The bearings are oiled and like it's really like usable.
Yeah. It appears to be absolutely usable.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
We are aware that there are a bunch of youths gathered near a tower on Lake Baratok
Mm-hmm.
who wanted to take down Strahd. I don't know where we got this information. It's just in the to-do list. What was the information on that we know?
Say that again, sorry.
What do we know about the group of youths who are gathered at the Wizard's Tower on Lake Baratok?
You know that a group of youths gathered there, that there was some plan made there to assault, to try and take down Strahd.
Yeah.
So you know that there were a group of youths gathered there. You know that, or you strongly suspect that Doru was one of them, and that was the last sort of there was a wizard, at least at some point, who tried to lead an assault, go, we can take down
Right.
Strahd, and that gathered the young people of Barovia to lead an assault against Strahd. And you know that many of them died and some of them got turned into vampires. It generally went badly.
Right.
I would like to walk up to the door and knock
Of the tower or the way?
on the door. Of the tower.
It's no response.
No response. Okay. Is anyone in here? We're going to unlock it. So, just so you know, we
Cover
come
yourselves.
in peace
I'd like
unless
to-
you want to attack us, and then
We're
we'll
just
take
breaking
you out.
into your house. We come in peace. It's fine.
We don't know
Can
what's
I-
out.
Can I stand in front of the door, point my finger at the door, and try and cast message? If my
Yeah.
finger is pointed at a creature within
Yeah,
range,
yeah.
I can cast a message.
Is this a wagon mimic?
So, is it Dragon Mimic? Your spell doesn't take on anything, carriage or inside the carriage.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I just like telepathically speak to probably the druid and be like, can you potentially check for arcane tracks if this is a magician?
No. Unfortunately, look, if you want me to check for snares, I'm all over it.
I'm just gonna do open lock, so sleight of hand.
I'll stand
I'm gonna
way back.
stick way back.
Trust me.
I
I'm
would
gonna
say
be
how
I'm going to be just behind you.
Oh, I'm
ready
tiny,
to
I'm like
attack
this.
something, holding
Okay, I like
That's a
I like
22.
To do what?
sit
22
proceeding
to open
meditating,
the
just like
door.
watching this like
22?
door.
What'd you roll, like a 1? 4. Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm like, don't you have like plus 17? or
Where's
something?
everybody in relation to the wagon?
We are way away.
Yeah.
And I'm holding a Toll the Dead ready to go.
Okay, so you're there by the back of the wagon.
Yeah.
Okay, you're close by.
I might.
I have faith.
Is there like a door in the back of the cabin?
This is the one. So they're just there's
No,
Where the
not
windows
the
are
one.
open?
not that you can see
I
through.
But I have faith in God.
Well, I might just kind of go around back
What
in
is
case
that?
they try and get on the
Yes.
windows.
Okay.
Um,
Constitution save
Yay.
Me.
for everybody within 30 feet of the back of the door.
Yeah,
We're definitely
Would we describe this as a spell?
Is that a one?
Yeah, you can have it as a spell.
Hell yeah.
You say
Fuck
control.
off. I've got so much stuff to do with my concepts. I have invested
Sorry, you just
two
missed that. It was
feet
just
in
made
my
me smile.
concepts.
4.
Oh dear.
Dirty 20.
12.
Okay.
That's so
Dirty
annoying.
Hey, I'm all about
Okay.
it.
Oh, sorry, no,
I took
21.
2 feet and tried
So
to do it.
pass, pass, pass,
That's with a
fail. Were you there?
No, we're out.
You're out.
We're way out.
Okay,
We're
so
sitting there on the edge. With
on
the
a
lens.
fail, that's 71 fire damage
Okay, I'm dead.
and 35,
I don't have that much help.
35 on
this?
a you've.
At the front door?
It's on the door.
You've got
Yeah.
10
With that-
HP. Is that
I-
what
So
you-
anyone who is in 30,
Oh, 10
within
HP.
30
Is
foot
that-
range
One more
of that
ball.
door,
We've all got 10
when he unlocked
HP,
and
so
opened it, when he unlocked the door,
we've
took
all got
either
10
35 damage, and you've got 10 HP.
You
10
said how much?
temporary
70?
HP. 71.
71.
Yeah.
Alright. Who
Uh,
needs some
I-
healing?
I've got 5 health
Yes,
points.
Alright.
I'm going to turn to the marionette,
Sorry, how much did you say?
grab some of
Huh?
my undistilled gin out of the
35.
bag and be like,
So does the whole caravan
Should we
just
help them?
explode? Like it's got TNT in it? Or
No, the lock did.
the
No.
lock did?
So as he picked the lock was
It just
trapped.
went-
God, we need a fucking bar.
these young whippersnappers don't listen to the old man.
Yeah, these young whippersnappers don't listen.
You're really
be
fucking
fair,
dead.
I
Does that
was
look
just-
like a
I was
massive
just trying to-
explosion?
Oh yeah, I'm hiding. I'm carrying behind
I was
you.
just trying to stop an escape route.
Misfire.
You've got
Am I
5
feared? I'm frightened.
You've got no
Yeah.
damage, haven't you? 'Cause you've got
It was a
Yeah.
sudden-
I think you're a bit
unexpected
of feared. You are a bit of feared.
Okay, and then I run a little bit away.
Okay.
It
I
wasn't.
feel like that would definitely be an unexpected fire.
Yeah.
You as a creature terrified of fire think that was trapped with a spell, and that was alchemist's fire that went off as part of that spell.
Mm.
So there was a spell that just ignited a large collection of alchemist's fire, and you are very relieved that you were sensible and kept a long way
Has the
away.
whole
Am I
wagon
still on
just
fire?
exploded?
No.
Just the.
No, it hasn't. which you would think is
Yeah, that's
Yes.
strange.
it seems a very targeted.
It's not rock and roll.
Yeah.
Emma, just so you
Yes.
know, I'm using my staff of healing to heal Jesse.
Yeah. Go for it.
Wonderful.
Do
22.
you have like do you have a certain number of hit points you do with that?
I can cast at different levels, so I can. Do you need some healing?
So I think they took 35 each, and Harley,
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
I don't think so.
you're right. Okay.
Let's do a second level.
I was 56 out of 81.
The upside is I just scored 45 pain points. So I'm like,
I am nearly out of.
God help the next enemy that we can.
yeah, pretty much. Told the dead. Just 40.
I was really going to do fire shield, cold shield, and I would have gotten just 65. That's so.
Okay. Are you going in now? You've opened the door.
No, I think we should just leave.
no, definitely not.
Clearly, someone doesn't want us to come in.
I'm just going
Well,
to turn to the
someone
marionette and be
who's
like,
Who's now hiding behind a tree?
Someone
why don't
rude
we
and
just
hurt me
like
very much.
introduce ourselves to the nice wizard, and I'm just going to walk up to the wizard tower while they're sorting out whatever they're sorting out.
Okay. Cool.
Are we splitting the party?
No,
Sounds like it.
Okay.
only partial.
I take it the caravan got incinerated.
Nope.
No, it didn't.
Caravan's
It's just-
fine.
It's just fire.
Arlene, are you with the runners or are you close by?
I was at the back of the thingy.
Are you with the
Alright,
cowards?
I would like to make an investigation check on the door to
I'm
see if
like
there's
in
any further
between
traps I
the
can figure.
cowards and you guys.
We're not
That's-
cowards! We were right!
Yeah, no, I was confirmed with that. So if they jumped out one of the
That's a
windows
nat
and
one.
ran the back. of
For
the-
investigation would be
Oh
8.
my god.
What are we investigating?
I'm investigating if there's any further traps on the door.
Oh, cool. Can I give a help action for that? If we're
So you roll with advantage.
It's like, no,
Unless you want to fail. you just fail.
It's kind of fun.
Look. Okay, anything for the bit.
17.
An investigation of 17.
Actually,
You
make
don't-
that a.
You go
19.
over this wagon, kind of with a fine tooth comb, quite cautious tooth comb. You can't. Not only can you not find any other traps, you do find a trap door underneath.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
okay. Underneath the.
Yeah,
Underneath.
you should just jump into
Is
it.
there any? Would we observe? Is there any doors on the tower, or is there no doors?
On the tower, there's a big front door. I can show you the front door in a second.
Is
So
the
do I
door to
think
the
this is
caravan
this
now?
trap door? So underneath the caravan, this trap door, is this supposed to be like the way that maybe I think they get in, avoiding the trap?
Maybe.
It doesn't appear to be locked.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the front door open or is it closed still?
The one where the lock blew
Oh,
off.
little up.
Only meant to blow the fucking doors off. Yeah, the lock's now no longer there. But otherwise unharmed.
Wonderful. Cornelia, open the door.
Yeah.
No problem. Door opens.
Let's head
Yeah.
inside.
Light.
Carlene will keep an eye on the outside.
I've also got some light.
So this it's quite cozy. It's quite warm. It's quite opulent. It's some lovely things. But actually, on the sort of walls of this, you notice that the windows on the far side appear to be almost like fake windows. So actually, it's boarded on the inside.
Oh, so it was a distraction windows.
Distraction windows. Exactly that. There does appear to be a lot of stuff. So this appears to be maybe a base camp of some description for somebody. Roll investigation, see what you find if you want.
Nine.
Okay.
I feel like
You find, with a 9, you find a whole collection of things just like weapons racked on a wall. So there's a battle axe, there's a flail, there's a morning star, there's a crossbow. So it's this whole collection of sort of, well kept weapons, not muddy, not covered in blood, really well kept.
17.
what was this?
Um,
Perception or
Investigation.
About dirty 20.
Okay. With a 17, you find what appears to be some clothes. They would appear to be travelling clothes.
Man,
Difficult
woman,
to-
unclear.
Difficult to tell. You guess it would be a woman or small man, but difficult to tell.
Can you like, give them a smell and try to see how long they've been sitting here for?
Go for it. Perception, probably.
Perception?
Yeah.
A lot. 33.
You reckon that these have been here for about 4 days,
Okay.
maybe 4.5.
4 days.
4 days. You identified that there's a disguise kit in here. There's a big boxed climber's kit with sort of ropes and pitons and things like that. Harleen, you find what appears to be a healer's kit, and what appears to be a kit full of vials and chemicals and various things. You've seen Etherdwe working with something like this, so you think this would be a poisoner's kit.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Poisonous kit for...
Whoever they want.
Okay. Anybody else want to look and see if there's anything else in here?
If nobody else grabs it, I'll take that lovely looking climber's kit.
Yep, go for it. Have a climber's kit.
Fucking love climber's kits. And what was the other one?
There's a climber's kit, a healer's kit, a disguise kit, and a poisoner's kit.
I want to take a disguise kit and just take my...
Are you anybody else looking in here?
I'm not in there at the moment.
You're not in there. You're not in there. You're at the door.
Are you looking?
Yeah, I'm going to take the poisonous kit.
Okay.
Are you going to do
Any more investigating? See if you find anything else.
Just in case.
Guidance.
You found all the obvious stuff.
Oh, what about the trapdoor?
The trapdoor appears to be open from the inside and doesn't appear to do
And
anything. With
that's in the...
Yep, you can see it on the floor. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not in there.
No, you're not, but they can see it. They don't need to roll an investigation check. They can just see it.
I only rolled a 10 for investigation.
Okay, you can see a couple of flasks that you can see 6 flasks. No, they all appear to. 3 have a sort of clear liquid in them, and 3 have what appears to be something that's it's corked with then like a wax seal around it. And appears to be bubbling ever so slightly. There's 3 of those. So there's 6 vials of some liquid, with 3 of one and 3 of another. You would. That is how it looks.
How would I identify it? Would that be Arcana?
Arcana. You could roll Arcana. You could roll history. See if you've come across anything like this before when you've been looking at ingredients and trade. You could roll medicine. See if you've come across anything like this before.
Survival.
Yeah. Give that a whirl.
18 survival.
Okay.
Yeah, better than mine.
19 medicine.
Okay. So in 18 survival, you recognise the 3 that are slightly bubbling as an antitoxin.
Oh, nice.
So it's 3 vials of antitoxin. So that gives you advantage on saving throws against poison for an hour, unless you are undead or a construct, in which case it offers you no benefit. Sorry, and on the other one there, with your medicine check, you recognise this when you look at it. And you tilt it slightly, it almost glows, and you recognise it as something that Malachi carries. So you think this is holy water.
Called it.
No,
Called it.
You might want this.
I like holy water.
Yeah.
And then do we want
You bath in holy water. I bath in holy water. Yes, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, we would suggest giving the antitoxins to you, Malachi, because won't work on construct. Monk will already have it, and then I've got wild chests that just.
So 1 antitoxin,
1 antitoxin.
and then you've got, and then there's 3 vials of holy water.
3 vials of holy water.
I'd probably suggest handing them around is a good idea as well.
Holy water.
Lots, just so like multiple.
I've got shape water, so having holy water would be fun.
Yeah, you have holy water.
What's that?
Oh, well, I'm not here, so you'll have to give it to me.
Say that again.
Holy water.
Let's get perfect.
Holy
So you can chuck it like an improvised ranged attack,
Oh, sorry, that's
a ranged weapon attack, if you wanted to. It does 2d6 radiant on undead.
So it's
Should that be any use to
If
you?
I shaped it into like a spear or something, would it do an additional like bit of piercing damage?
Yeah, I'll go with that. That sounds sensible.
Like if I turned it into ice kind of.
Yeah, you turn it into an arrow or a
Yeah, yeah.
javelin and do javelin and damage. Antidote. Antitoxin, sorry. So antitoxin is advantage on saving throws against poison for 1 hour. Yep. Antitoxin. Yep. Okay. Anybody looking for anything else while you're in here?
Can I have another look?
Yeah, you can have another look around. Now you know there's stuff in here worth looking for if you want to start going through cushions and all that sort of stuff.
Investigation, did you say?
Yeah.
19.
Okay. You start now. You've realised that like there's a whole load of stuff in here. You start like plumping the cushions and like going through the fake curtains and
a tuning fork at one point.
and when you pull out your tuning fork and go dong, your tuning fork goes and it's almost like one of the uprights that holds it is hollow, and as you go over to that. You find like a door that just sort of slides open, and there's 2 scrolls inside that door frame.
Do you want to try identifying one or try the other?
Yep.
Sure.
Arcana. Rules for spell scrolls, anybody can use them. You may or may not need to make an Arcana check to see what happens.
Continuing
I got
searching,
a
I would try to look for the two
Hey, they hit no
that
one.
aren't here.
Unless
Sure
someone
they're
wants to give me a
retained
help.
under
With an 11,
The child in the geriatric.
you recognise one but not the other.
Okay.
With an 11, you recognise one is around removing curses.
Nice.
So it's scroll of remove curse, and the other one you're not sure about.
I got a 14.
With a 14, you recognise, you're not sure what it is, but you recognise it's some form of illusion magic.
I'm even use scroll of remove curse, absolutely.
Okay,
That's your fear.
all right. You good? You've got all the random crap out of the wagon? Whoever's wagon it is. I'm sure they'll be happy.
Yeah, sure.
You get the thought in the back of your head.
You open the trapdoor opens. Nothing goes off. There's no
You take
bombs.
97.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure the trap door is literally just
Yeah.
It may or may not have been your way to go in, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Hey, look, it could have been something.
So you're at.
back up to 45.
You get to this door. So you go and find Antoinette and Zephyr, who are standing in front of this door, and this is on this wooden door. There appear to be 5 intricately carved stone tiles embedded into this wooden door with a symbol upon each, and there is a script engraved underneath these tiles into the wood.
Quinny immediately says, I know this one, and then I'm going to do a ram attack against the door.
Oh my god.
Go for it.
Like 2 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Do
been
I
too
not
long
get
since
to do
we've made a
anything?
character.
Go for it. There you go. Ram attack.
Ram attack.
Roll
absolutely.
attack. Go for it.
That's a crit. That's a natural 20.
Okay.
And that's really
You drive in, and as you hit the door, from the very top of the tower, lightning cascades down the sides of this tower, and everybody takes 15 damage. No save.
I'm sorry for that. I thought it was just
You're a dick.
That's fair.
And
We're not doing anything bad. We try to solve it.
and there's and you almost think you hear the tower laughing, or you hear laughing from within.
Okay,
So there is a script
yes,
underneath.
Can we read the script?
Yes, what?
No, it depends. What languages have you got?
I've got Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
I have a headache.
You can
I have-
read.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Uncommon.
You can read a line. You can read a line.
Abyssal, common, druidic, primordial, silver.
You can read a line.
Common and deep speech.
You can read a line. What else we got?
That's the rest.
Yeah.
What have you guys got?
Okay.
I can't read. Oh, you can't read.
Okay.
So what's your common deep speech inquiry?
Okay.
Before that happens,
Yep.
I'm going to use a keyboard.
Okay.
And my little raven mask. But this time it's like a little bit different. And I'm gonna speak and say, while my idiot friends are ransacking the place, would I be able to come in for some tea, sir? And any creature within 600 feet can hear me.
Did you say this?
No, and he said-
never speaks aloud.
No,
Um,
but that's why I was like, what?
You receive no response. You receive no response. You also hear no laughing, but you receive no response.
Okay. I will wander 30 feet away from this door and sit down and just watch
Okay.
the chaos.
Okay. So between you and your large collection of languages, this script, as you look at it, it's like you can read one or two lines, but they keep changing. It's almost like they're changing. So like one line's clear, but the rest doesn't make sense. Between you, you manage to get within these tiles the path that lies untold. 5 symbols of power, the story you unfold. Arrange them right from darkness to light, in order, with insight. Embrace wisdom's touch, a tower profound before your quest to darken castle ground. Amidst the dark, where foes hold might, triumph and bathe the land in light.
Can we get that put in the
Yep.
chat for
Yes.
the reading?
Yes, you can.
Okay, from dark to light, so it could be like Ravenloft, moon.
Well,
Bat, owl, something.
that owl and moon are all nighttime things, but the moon can be pretty bright.
Yeah. Like in terms of
But the sun's got to be the brightest.
Can you see that from there? No, it's alright, I'll pull it out. No, it's alright, I'll pull it out. That's fine.
Alternatively, wasn't there something about bringing the light back to Barovia when we ripped
there
the
was
skull to...
Yeah,
The picture of the castle. Like,
That's
what is
Ravenloft.
Is it Castle Ravenloft? Is it?
Here we go, hold on.
looks like this.
For God's sake.
I'm going mad.
I made the mistake of changing my Facebook password, which is always a bit of a nightmare. And now it keeps asking me to confirm who I am all the time,
Oh yeah, it's been doing that to me lately.
which is not in itself a bad thing.
Anna,
Because
did we see the range that lightning hit around the castle?
somewhere between 10 and 20 feet.
Awesome.
So,
Quinny's going to say, alright, everyone take 30 foot of steps back and tell me what to touch. And I'll turn to a wild shape so I can soak up some.
Emma, what's
Rather
this?
than the water's getting
When did we get this?
where did you get it?
Yeah.
You got that from underneath the last puzzle that you solved. Underneath the sort of in the safe, almost in the warg, outside the warg den. They were looking after these documents.
Okay.
That's where you got it.
I don't really correspond to anything.
Do we want to give that a try? And then we can just try punching them in? As I say, everyone back off 30 feet. I'll go into a wild shape and then tell me which one's the best one. And then if we get it wrong, it's just my wild shape catch. Rather than everyone soaking in punching it. Do you want to do that?
Sure, what was that? Try first.
Also,
Let's think logically here.
so if everyone backs off 30 feet, and then Quinny can turn into a wild shape, and then tell me what order you want me to hit the stuff in. And then if we get it wrong, it's just Quinny's wild shape.
Yeah, but let's work out what it is first.
So
Okay,
in
first
terms
of all,
of in terms of what these symbols are, in case you can't tell, there is a moon,
Yeah.
or there is a bat, an owl, a moon, a sun, and a castle.
Have we encountered anything? This is more to the other players. Anything or anyone associated with owls? Because like Strahd could be associated with the bat.
Or could the owl be symbolic of wisdom?
Yes, true.
And also illuminating its wisdom.
Yeah, no, I think literally.
Oh, it's all in
It's
within.
stretching it here.
No, I like it. I like it.
These lines, the second half of the thing is telling us what we're
Awesome. And then
embrace wisdom's touch of that tower profound. So that's the owl.
I'll check into it.
Before your quest.
A giant octopus with
I think
fingers.
they have good
Yeah,
pointing
okay,
fingers,
that's
and then
fine.
Everyone else can back off.
So
and
it'll
then
be
when
an
we try,
owl.
I'll
It'll
punch
be
it, so
owl
it's
tower.
wild
Fine.
shot getting
Yeah.
rather than everybody.
Owl. Moon. Strahd.
But it says
don't
arrange
have
them.
brain cells. They don't need brain
Arrange
cells.
them.
Okay, I
light
think
from
it's.
darkness to light. So you think that
I
like.
like-
Has
I
everyone
like
backed
I
away
think I
30
know what
feet?
it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. What order am I trying?
You should try owl.
Wisdom's not
Then
When it touches the
Alright,
owl.
I feel like Harleen would like pop
Castle.
a bowl
Hang on.
of something to drink and just kind of
No, sorry, just
sit on the ground. And
Can you move the tiles,
Just
or
kinda
is it
keep
just
an
touch
eye
the
out.
tiles?
They slide.
Yeah. So you want right to left.
Wonderful. Quinny will touch the owl, slide it to the rightmost position.
Right, master.
Slide the owl to the rightmost position.
Mm-hmm.
Does anything happen?
So you stopping? You're going to try the
For a
door.
second, yeah,
So-
I'll try moving and see if anything happens. I'm
Nothing
seeing
so-
if it sets off as soon as you touch the wrong thing, or
No. So
Okay,
you, without taking much insight, you think you tried to physically knock the door down, and that the only way through this door is to solve this puzzle. So you would guess that what you need to do is get the thing in the right order and then try the handle.
Alright,
You would anticipate that if you got them in the wrong order and tried the handle, you may get struck by lightning, or if you tried to bash the door down or go in by another route, you get struck by lightning.
Alright,
Is what it would be your
Someone tell me what order.
overarching guess. But nothing seems to happen
light
when
is
you move
definitely
them.
far left.
I think
Right's
it's.
definitely the owl.
I think it's Wisdom's Touch Owl, Tower Profound Castle, / the Darkened Castle Ground, then Dark, so Moon, then Foes Hold Might, it's got to be the Bat, because that's Strahd, the foe.
Yeah, and
And
then
then the light.
we can try that way.
Quinny, try that order.
This is just pulling it out.
Okay,
of
so- So starting with the owl,
Owl, what do you say? Owl, castle,
Owl, castle, moon,
and then
bat,
try that
light.
in the door.
15 lightning damage.
Delicious. I don't know what it was a giant octopus that only gets electrocuted. It's got to be a little.
Smells like
As the
Dark
electricity
castle,
goes down,
where
all
the
for a short
moon
period of
might
time,
go
all
for
your
the castle.
tentacles kind of go,
But it's
twitch a
Wisdom's
little
Touch,
bit,
Tower
and
Profound.
you can almost
Yeah,
they almost glow, kind of like those
Also,
sort
it
of
doesn't necessarily
squid
mean
that you get in the aquarium that are like
It just
almost
says
UV
arranged
colour.
light. So it's like in the right bar. Doesn't have to be.
I'm gonna
arrange them
try
right,
while they're
darkness
all-
to light. Flip it completely the other way around.
Yeah.
You
It
reckon?
could just be left to right. Yeah.
Right, I'll try that order
No,
the other
But
way.
I think,
No.
I actually think that
What?
I think that the
No, Darkness to Light, this is telling the story of how we're going to overcome Strahd.
Yeah, but flip them around because it says arrange them right with a comma from darkness to light. It's not arrange them from right to left, it's arrange them right.
Arrange them correctly from darkness to light is how I would
Yeah,
interpret
so
that.
leftmost would become the...
Can I try
Try it.
castle, moon, bat, owl, sun?
What was that? Castle Moon.
Castle, moon, bat, owl, sun.
That's not what we agreed.
Oh, just while we're working it out. I've got
33 lightning damage.
Yikes! Okay, now I'm down to hit points. That's a lot.
Can
of
we
hit
try
points.
one more?
no,
Can
actually,
you try
can we,
one?
before we
You
try
think
another
that
one,
Yeah,
can I
you
just
think
make
this
some
lightning's
kind of
getting
roll?
more powerful
Oh, of course.
as the more times you get this wrong. That one
Can
seems
I work
worse
that
than the
out from the
previous one.
2, or does it take the 3?
It's alright.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, what was that?
Can I please make some kind of investigation check or something to see if I notice anything about whether there's a darkness to light ratio between the tiles, or if there's a darkness to light ratio between the way the light is shining from the moon or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that They're supposed to help us find darkness.
Okay, roll a unicorn check, otherwise known as perception or insight.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy
we need
check.
to get that like 1 and 20 tally up because I am crushing everyone.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, you think that the light of the moon, as the moon is rising, is shining on all of these from top to bottom and gradually illuminating them. And you're now very perplexed as to what that might mean because it's going top to bottom, and that's neither right to left or left to right.
I'm so confused now.
Yeah.
Okay, what order are you going to try?
So
I think-
same as the original, but flipped. But you can go
So owls, something, castle, something.
Well, I basically had the same idea as Bree, except I think the only thing is I'm not 100% sure with the vampire, so I think the vampire one might
Holly,
be earlier.
while you're
So
sitting there
we'll go
drinking,
Wisdom
roll
Slash Tower.
insight.
A Tower Profound, I was thinking maybe that could be the vampire. And then before you quest to darken Castle Ground, so then the castle, then moon, then the light.
Insight, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
you could be right.
Oh no, I was wrong.
23.
No,
That was
no,
going
you
from
really
right to
like
left,
it.
we
Not
could
left
go
to
From
right.
darkness
I wanna
to
try and get
light.
to right, at least.
Suggests the beginning and the end of the sequence.
What suggests the beginning and end?
I would probably communicate that with the team.
Or you can carry on drinking. It's entirely up to you.
I am
I'll maybe hold it for one try, just to see if they can get it right
Okay,
the
fine.
third time.
You do that.
And then if
Yeah.
damage if we're wrong. That's,
Huh?
I'm going to take a decent bit of damage if we're wrong.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
that's fine.
No, like actually 20 minutes.
I've only got three
Well, we've
hit
got-
points left on the spell.
We've got.
Yeah, that like, what
you
if
want-
we
so you want the
12
right.
damage?
the
I mean, the octopus looks nearly dead.
You should watch it.
What order am I trying next? That's the thing I've got
Uh,
those hit points. Other
Well,
than
Right.
we'll
Allosaurus, but that doesn't have a lot of I don't think that can hit buttons very well. What order?
Okay, so I'll make my guess.
make it.
I think it should
You're
be
just sitting watching this.
owl. Yeah, so owl, then vampire,
I was just hearing this next, she'll be chuckling
then
slightly to herself.
then darkness. No, sorry. Maybe the moon one should be a one.
Come on, you can do it.
You know
Yeah.
the
Are we going?
answer.
No, I don't.
Have you got a plan?
Now,
I don't have
then,
the whole
then
answer.
vampire, then castle, then moon.
Okay.
Then light.
I'll try that.
You okay? And you can roll. I would say that you now know this is coming. If you get this wrong, so you're prepared, so you can roll a dex save. Okay.
Oh, do you want me to start doing
I have picked my.
So
I mean, it's probably like even if I get it wrong, I'm still getting wild shot damage.
Well, I take 0 damage if I
Oh,
pass dex saves.
alright. Octopus's dex save is +1. That's actually
So
worse
it's
than
always
mine.
up.
I don't know why I got the advantage there. That's a 6.
So that's 53 lightning damage.
Queen.
It's not looking good.
And I've got evasion too.
Alright,
Yeah, we both-
the octopus dies and I have 10 hit points left.
Okay,
Queen's gonna
upon
stumble
the
off and
octopus
lie on the ground.
dying
And I'm going to
and
start healing
20
you up with one of my healer's kits.
changing back,
Yeah.
Marlene would share the,
That's going to be.
what was it? Started with the,
From
from darkness to light.
arrange them right from darkness to light.
So it starts with the moon, ends with the sun.
Yeah, that's the other
Right.
Okay, so I'm
That's
just gonna
all I
walk
know.
up to
That's
this.
literally all I know.
Tell Quinny
It
to get
starts
out
with
of the
moon,
rain.
ends
I'm
with the
already
sun.
out. I'm sitting
I'm
far
gonna
away,
move.
like
Yep.
laying my head in the water.
Yeah,
I think it's okay.
hang on. Moon,
Right.
owl,
Okay. 4. Okay.
and then
Yep.
castle,
Yep.
bat, sun,
Okay.
and then I can
Door opens.
And I just wondered.
Oh,
Can
I
you
guess
quit?
I'll-
You know?
No, alright, you're welcome. Just
Moon.
I didn't say
out,
So the moon-
Rahu, Bat, Sun.
So the moon symbolises the darkness that pervades Barovia and marks the beginning of the journey. The owl represents a quest for knowledge and the secrets that must be unveiled. The castle signifies the ultimate destination where confrontation awaits. The bat depicts the formidable enemy to be vanquished, the nemesis of adventurers, and the sun illuminates hope and represents the re-emergence of light, triumph and renewal. Yeah.
But
So-
it was darkness to light.
So darkness to light,
Owl.
insight,
I mean,
a tower profound, amidst the dark where foes hold might, rebathe in the light.
So I have a question, just a history question.
Yep, 35 hit points.
How much does the group know about the magician who lives in the tower? Like, obviously, this implies that they're very.
I know everything.
Go for it.
This implies that they're.
She
like,
knows everything.
No, I don't know
Yeah.
everything.
They're like almost not on our side, but like they want the foe to be vanquished if this is on their tower. So, like, does this mean they're probably fine with it?
I'm talking! Kazan was a former druid and the first wizard of Barovia, and the first custodian of the Amber Temple. He trained druids as wizards to protect the Amber Temple. So, he first... This is the full timeline, let me tell you. Okay, so, in the time of
Take
darkness, he helped the Fae and Ursari construct the Amber Temple. The Fae blessed him with long life and taught him to imprison the vestiges in Amber. Dark vestiges, whole thing.
The whole
then
thing.
he built and lived in a tower
Mm-hmm.
on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
During the Age of Kings, he decided he didn't want to be part of the world, so he kind of became a recluse. Then during the Great War, he stayed out of the war until a young prince, Strahd, took an interest in him and learned about the Amber Temple and about the Dark Vestiges, because he told him about, Kazan told Strahd about it. So then Strahd went and invaded the Amber Temple, made a pact with the Dark Vestiges in there, and became Vampire Prince. And then Kazan was like, oh shit!
That was an error. Oops.
What?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
I shouldn't
oh,
have mentioned it to him. Yeah, that was a bad idea.
And then
Yeah.
Strahd stole the Fae, so Kazan went into Castle Ravenloft, pretended to negotiate with Strahd to try and get one of the Fae. It was a ruse, though. He was just using his magic to try and get the Water Fae to escape. She escaped. He likely died there, and all we know is then his spirit. Hang on. There's two theories. About what happened. He either returned to the Amber Temple, or his spirit inhabits the tower on the lake, or in the halls of Castle Ravenloft. Did that make sense? That was very good.
Yeah, that was about
So
right.
he's a friend of the Fae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
just-
Before he begins, there's
Sorry,
there's
you are
yeah
wrong.
there's
It's also quite likely that the gem is here.
there's thought that this guy's originally a druid.
Yeah.
And
They left
that
the farm.
in the days long before the days of kings, who befriended the Faes and helped create the Amber Temple to house dark things that would otherwise corrupt the place.
Was that correct information?
Yeah, you would think, based on the information that you've got, that the Mountain Fae probably entrusted the red gem to this druid for safekeeping, and that's why. And that's why the details were hidden with the wolves
Oh,
in
yeah.
the mountains and
Yeah.
one thing and another. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we there? Okay, so you've opened the door with help and all the rest of it.
Blood and more blood.
And the door opens, and this appears to be very quiet. The floor's made of sort of flagstones and strewn with sort of rocks and debris. There's some crates over by the wall. There's a torn curtain that's sort of hanging across the tower, and there's an indentation in the floor with what looks like pulleys. So you think that the way up is that there's some form of winch lift mechanism. There's taut iron chains that go up through the centre of this tower, and there's sort of rotten ceiling. Standing next to each of these chains are 4 tall statues.
What do the statues look like? Sorry.
Can I just look?
They look a bit
how
like that.
far up this chamber is?
You can see it's as high on the inside as it was on the outside. You can see what appear to be probably 3. You can see through the hole maybe 3 landings or floors in various states of repair above this one.
Can I just walk up to the first one? I can walk on walls.
Yeah.
Can I climb walls?
Can I flinch before any of this happens? Like a dodge action?
As if it doesn't care. Just wanders and investigates.
Yeah.
Is there anything notable about the
Old man
statues?
since
Statues.
You each of the statues appears to be holding one of the chains that controls the pulley.
Yeah.
Each of the statues holds one of the chains?
Yeah. Roll perception or investigation, whichever you'd prefer.
Guidance.
Guidance?
Yep.
I'm gonna need it.
I got a 27.
Wow.
For perception?
Yeah.
Yep. With a 27 in perception, you think there's something about these that's very similar to Antoinette in that is that these appear to be they have purpose as opposed to just be decorative statues.
Can I try and message into one of the statues' heads?
Good idea.
Go for it.
I'll just get to speak to it.
Dodge action.
Is anyone there?
You hear up,
Yeah.
down.
Up, please.
And the platform comes, you hear the chains rattle, and the platform descends from the floors above. Zephyr, if you've gone up, the platform comes rattling past you through the hole in the centre of this building
I'd be freaking
and
out a bit.
sits
Yeah.
Sleeping
and settles down on the ground floor. Appears to be waiting for you to go up.
And Gwinnett skips onto the platform.
I'll lean over as well.
What did they do? Did you tell us that you spoke to them?
And making new friends.
Alright, cool, as long as they're with you.
And
Rather unsettling.
I have. She's a toy of Flint.
She says,
Yeah,
that
she's
her
pretty
hair-
She's unsettling.
She creeped me out first, but now we're good friends.
She is a toy of Flintsky.
Why do I feel like
So sorry, she detaches her head.
Just like that robot from like the have you seen the video with the
The awful leg bending back.
yeah, and then like pivoting the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you would do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
okay, so you press, you get on, and you up,
Up, please.
and the platform, the golems seem to pull these chains, and the platform rises to the floor above.
Living statues didn't
Roll
attack us.
initiative.
Why would the living statues attack you? That's just ridiculous.
Well, if
So
one on the left-
the next floor
Like
up,
old
which is
school.
where Zephyr is at the moment. The second
Just
floor,
on the left, back
it
on the
appears to be quite sturdy. The floor, it's not disintegrating. It doesn't collapse, which is good. There's books, and most of them are mouldy, and the pages are falling out. They're largely illegible. It's almost that the paper and the ink has just disintegrated over time. On about 4 feet above the floor is a bust, like a marble bust sitting sitting in this sort of small alcove up on the shelf, and it appears to be disproportionately clean and of exceptional quality. It looks like a beautiful piece of sort of marble craftsmanship sitting on the shelf.
Can I make an investigation check on the bust? See if there's like a secret button or something.
Oh, go for it.
Guidance.
Don't tell me you got another one.
That's unfortunate.
You're pretty sure it's.
I'm not different dice every time.
You're pretty sure that its eyes are following you. So as you walk up towards it to look for a button, you're pretty sure it's tracking you.
Can you talk to this one as well?
Yeah, I was going to say, Antoinette, having had such success downstairs, goes, knock, knock. Is anyone there?
Hello. It's been a long time since somebody has come here to talk to me.
Do we hear this, or is it
Is
not
it
just a
speaking
reply?
telepathically or?
Oh no, it's just no, it's just talking.
Oh,
The bus
cool.
Okay,
says
so-
it's been a long time since anyone's come here to talk to it.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it just
just-
said,
oh,
it's just talking. It's just
Talking
talking.
Oh.
Isn't there a stat or a Waldorf thing or like busts and this sort of shit?
Probably.
They're definitely in Muppets Treble Island. They're in front of the
Oh.
In
ship.
front of the ship, yeah. Probably.
But
Yeah,
they're
what was
definitely
the
busts.
question? Did it ask us a question?
Oh, no, it just said hello. It's been a long time
Lovely to meet
since.
you.
Oh, lovely
Hi.
to meet you too. Do I know you? Have we met before?
I'm Antoinette.
Oh, lovely to meet you, Antoinette.
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Busty.
Bust.
Hi, Busty.
That's like
It's like hi base, hi Bessie, hi Busty.
I'm half expecting their best like denim shorts, like nearby.
It
So you have a
makes,
last
makes
name?
me think of like a New Zealander trying to
Well,
say.
that's a good question. I may have done at some point. I'm not sure I can recall one right at the moment, but if you can recall one, then I'm sure that might be it. Fabulous, yes.
How do you keep yourself so clean?
Well, it wouldn't do to be dirty, would it, now? No.
Where's your master?
Hey, that's a bit weird to assume.
Constructs can have free will too.
They can indeed,
Harley
young lady.
Harley Ridge's ship gang will be like, sure, but surely you're not here by yourself.
Well, I certainly don't appear to be here by myself right at the very moment. There appear to be, 6 of you in the tower. So I would say that I am one of 7. Yes. Not alone, no. Other people here. Can you see them? Yes.
Yes.
Jolly good. Yes.
We're looking for a red gem. You wouldn't have to know where that might be.
A gem. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think so. Maybe in the books. I'm unclear whether or not. Gem, you say? Gem. It's been a long time since I've had to have a conversation. It's a bit of a challenge.
I think you do very
Oh, that's very nice of you. There may be in somewhere in the library. Is a book about a man. I think he lived here once. Maybe
well.
he may have lived. Was there a man who lived here? Wasn't you? Was it? No, I've not met you. Oh, Druid guy. Yes. He a wizard, I think. Yes. No, my memory. It is not what it was. Coupled with not having many of 7 to talk to many of the times. I can't recall the title of the book precisely. If you can find it, that may tell you something, I think. Yes.
Are you stuck here, or can we pick you up? Would that be
Oh.
particularly rude to do?
I'm not sure I would like to be picked up. Oh, my
Okay,
goodness
if you don't
me.
want to, I was just thinking maybe we could take you with us to the library and you might be able to help us find it.
Oh, yes, I guess that would be a possibility. I'm not sure I remember of the things that used to be in here. And there's lots of books in the shelves on here. Most of them are mouldy. But there are definitely books in here.
So is this the library the floor we're on? Or is it...
Oh, yeah, this would be the library, and then there's the observatory, and I don't go upstairs much, and then there's obviously the folks downstairs with the chains, yes.
The folk
Can I do a
downstairs
perception or
with the
investigation?
chains.
Yeah, they've all the stuff.
Yep, you can do investigation to find books if you want to. Yes.
Might you like to be placed on the window such that you have a nicer view?
That's a great idea.
16.
Oh, that would be spectacular. It would be nice to see where I actually live.
Marlene would like to confirm that the people downstairs are the statues with the chains and not like.
Obviously, they
We can
are.
never be too sure in this land.
They
We're-
don't move a great deal. Although I have known them once or twice to fend off people who were not welcome here. But you appear to have got up with no troubles at all. You must have been lovely to them.
Does this bus look like it's of a weight Quinn could lift and put on the
Oh,
legs?
yes.
Wonderful,
Yes,
I'll
no
do
problem.
that.
Tickly.
Stop playing this bastard.
Your hands are almost fairy.
Dusty Ryan.
Can I make sure the window's clean so they can see out the window?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, no worries.
Would you rather we open the window?
Oh, and
Do you want, or would that
No,
risk you
that
falling?
might be.
oh no, I wouldn't want it. I saw lightning going down there earlier today. I wouldn't want to get hit by that and get knocked off this sill, would I?
Oh,
No.
what?
Yeah, you're not the first people to be looking for the person who used to be here. There was a woman
A
here.
woman?
Yes, not you. No, you're not. No, you're more of a doll. But interesting. No, bigger than you. Smaller than you.
Would this woman, and then I'll describe
Definitely
Arena,
less furry
all
in
the
the leg
identical-
department than you, and more of a woman than the others. Yes, was looking.
Less figurative.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
this long ago? Or do you even have much of a concept of time being here by yourself all the time?
Can
Oh, it was maybe a day, maybe an hour, maybe a week before you.
Can we describe Arena, Lissa, Josh's mum,
Long black
Tatiana,
hair.
all of
Mom.
the several women who all look very similar.
All look so-
Describe their general gist to the thing and say, a woman of
Is he pale?
Oh,
blah,
no.
blah, 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 blah.
Doesn't sound like any of those women. No, doesn't sound like them.
Yeah, they're
She had
old.
a mask on.
We know
Well,
who the mountain
Yes. Oh,
Can I describe the mountain fae?
as the mountain fae that you rescued from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the lady. She's
I think I recall that is not someone who has been here recently. It is somebody who has been here past. Maybe recently, woman, hair, clothes.
What colour hair?
Oh, what about the
I am not 100% sure.
Ooh.
Observation is not my strong
Oh,
suit,
Bubble Saga.
young lady.
That would be that.
Can we describe
She
Bubble
could- she
Saga?
could have been here to grab the gem,
Yeah.
replace the gem.
How are you intending to describe Bubble Saga?
Scary beyond all reason.
Like really great
Uh,
hair, like-
This woman appeared very pleasant. She was also lovely to the chain holders. No troubles at all.
Did she have frogs?
She
Why
also was-
would do you see frogs around here? Does this look like a witch coven house?
Harleen would probably venture.
What did you roll perception? Oh, or investigation for books, whoever was looking for books.
I'll roll, I'll have another look.
Um,
Let's see if I can roll 6.
I would like to go
That
and
one's
see if I can talk to the
Nope,
downstairs
that's a 6.
statues to see
13.
if they have a more accurate description of this lady that wandered through.
Okay. Sorry.
For book looking.
12 for book looking, 13 for book looking. Quinny, you see a book that you've seen before. So you see a copy of the Fanes of Barovia, which you know you've got. You see a copy of a book called Battle at the Gates of Selenka.
Ooh. Hand that to someone with more academic pursuits.
Okay.
Just a bookworm.
Okay. And there are clearly, in amongst all these piles of sort of rotting tomes, there do appear to be books that are, you know, you can sort through them if you want to. You get back onto the platform. The platform doesn't move. Or it doesn't appear to be.
Can I come down, please?
The platform starts to go down.
So are you reading the book?
So yes, then I'll go up to the statues,
Okay.
introduce myself and say it's a pleasure to meet you. My
Suggest-
friends and
Oh,
I
shoot.
are currently searching for something, but we were told that a woman came here not long ago before us.
Or the she
Is
could
this
still.
right or something?
Yeah.
True.
The eyes sort of look at
Let's get
you
ready for battle.
and go
Let's go up the floor.
up, down.
So you can
They
go
know the
down
dirt.
past the bottom.
Potentially.
Ground
Yeah,
floor.
can I?
Are you gonna go on your own?
Yeah, I wouldn't step off the thing, but I would. I would. Can I go down again?
They just stand there and go up, down,
Down.
up.
Okay.
We'll go
so-
back
It's
up.
like
Just trying to make sure.
Yeah,
we're
there's
just-
a bit
the
of
communication. It's not great.
That could have been a great
Yeah,
one.
it's
Yeah.
not-
But so then I'll go. Okay, can I go up again, please?
Also, elevators
Up.
still have enough.
And they go back, and you go back up to the
And I'll
next
say,
floor, second
okay,
floor.
there is no more down. They also only say up or down. They do not say anything else.
Oh, that's obvious. They're the gates. They're the chain holders. They have two purposes: to go up and down between the floors. Sometimes if you're being particularly clever, you can go second floor, and it will go straight there, and bypass the floor in the middle, so you don't have to go up, up, up. You can just say second floor or top
Does it-
floor.
But
Does-
then we
wait,
miss
no,
out
hold
on
on.
walk
As he says second floor, does the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
go up?
it goes up,
While I'm still on it, and I'm like, down, down.
and it stops, and then starts coming down again.
It goes all the way
and
back
it-
down to the bottom floor.
I don't mind going back down to the. I don't mind doing that. Don't mind that. I don't want to go up without
And,
and
And Busty just chuckles. Busty chuckles to himself and goes, "Oh, you be careful if you're going up again. There's a hole on the third floor. Or there certainly was a hole. I don't suppose there's been anybody here to fix it. So there's probably still a hole. If you look up, there's a hole. Well, that was lightning. That was. You may have noticed there's some lightning challenges here. The wizard did some pokery magic of some sort, and I can't remember the exact details. There was a flash and some kind of boom, and the whole place trembled, and there's still a hole. And you can, so just be careful if you're up there.
I think I want to go and investigate.
Yeah, we can look.
Let's go.
Should we keep looking for this book on this level, or should we just?
Oh, we found the book.
There are books. There are more
Okay.
books.
There's more books.
There are
We
more
found
books.
it.
Important.
Oh, can I
Um,
search for more books?
Yeah, go for your life.
You want to take a look at objects?
I can't really get
What is it? Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
For someone.
Can I?
Yeah.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay.
Like, well,
You find a book called
I
The
hit the
Song
best
of the Sunblade.
Ooh.
Sunblade, is that
Sunblades.
something we have? Or is that a weapon
Yeah,
that
it's a
we.
special sword we're going to get.
Some blades.
It's the Strahd Killer.
It's the Strahd
Okay,
Killer.
Just try to kill her.
I'll turn
9,000.
I assume.
Oh yeah, that's
around.
clearly what Blinsky talks about when he's building dolls.
Yeah, I'll turn around and go, who wants this one? This one seems particularly important. You read me a story? I could tell you a story.
Tell us a
That sounds
story.
like
I'll tell you a story. You want me to tell a story first? You promise you'll read a story at some point. I can't read. Nobody reads to me anymore. It's quite lonely. Yeah.
Come with us? Do you want to stay here?
Oh,
You're just lonely.
I have been left here for a very, very, very long time. I'm unclear precisely exactly whose thoughts it is that I had, because I'm fairly sure at some point I was actually just a bust. Hard to know.
That's okay.
Can
Should
I?
have taken Busty with
I
his
just
fighting
got.
group.
Well,
I
that's
hope
fine.
we do.
What's
I'm
your
a
thing?
bastard. He's one of my favourites.
You know what Busty would make? a really good
Yeah, go on.
fancy
No, go on.
with
No,
a
no,
dragon skull
no, it's all-
to drive around.
So,
No, like
a
a
story?
Like
A story?
driver.
You do a story.
I was
Well,
thinking,
if
like,
you're sitting
you know how the
comfortably.
ship-
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
A
okay.
wise-
I was thinking he'd be like our chauffeur.
A wise man once built this tower, and one day, in some sudden, he had departed abruptly. All of a sudden, one would say, just gone. One day, I inquired about his return as he was leaving, and he simply replied, "When it is safe." And he's not been back since. It's been so long. I ceased counting after a century or so. And if you would be so kind as to read me, maybe from one of the books, I've not been read to for a very long time.
See,
Can I sit down and-
This makes Harley want to take the bus to a library in
I
one
can
of the
tell him
towns
a story.
or take him to like an academy.
Do you want a new story, or do you want to read a favourite, old favourite?
Oh, anything. I've not heard reading for centuries.
I'll tell you the story of Malachi
While this story is happening, with my 5th level spell slots I just got, I can take Awakener's spell now.
Mm-hmm.
Can I attempt to determine if something similar has been cast on this bust, or if it feels more like this is a person's mind that's been put into the bust?
Yeah. Go for it.
Do you want
And
to
you
check
can
or-
roll that. You can roll it as Arcana, but you can roll it with advantage because you sort of have an understanding of how this might work.
18, 22, 23, 25.
You think that this is transferred knowledge.
Okay.
So you think that this is a transferred mind of some, and you almost feel that this mind's really very old and has gone slightly senile and can't remember a lot of the details of exactly who or what it is, but you think it's a mind of something that's been put into this bust. Yeah. If I would certainly consider coming with you. If there's room, obviously for one more. I'm not a lot of use. I have no legs. So.
Harley would fashion something out of cloth and rope to kind of put in a backpack under the situation.
Oh, this is
Like
very.
those
Little baby carriers on
yeah,
All right.
I'd ask us, would you prefer to be in the library, or would you like to go to university? Or...
I'd like to see the sights for a while. Is there a university? I don't recall there being a university in Barovia. Most of the knowledge was collected in the tower and maybe the temple, but I don't remember a university. Churches. There were some churches and there were some stones.
Would you like to check?
Yes, stones.
Stones?
I'm not a great fan of the church. No.
That's fine. We can take you to the library.
Don't say that to our friend here.
No,
Likes
the
the
church was bad. I'm making it better.
You're making it better. That's lovely. Okay. Yes.
That's
We
what
don't-
he
Okay.
we
always
don't
says.
say
Okay.
that.
Right. Okay.
Do you remember anything about the stones?
Stones.
The red
stones.
stone.
The stones.
Stones. Yes. Stones. There are stones.
Capital S stones.
Oh, stones. The capital S. Yes. Fanes.
Yes.
Yes, there are fanes. Very important sites. The druids look after the fanes. The very important site. There's three. One down by the river Luna. One in a beautiful field on the plain behind a windmill. Beautiful bread
that's
from
an old
there.
windmill.
Beautiful bread from that windmill. And
They moved to pies these days.
pies, you say? Interesting. And one in the forests to the west, behind a vineyard out there, a hill, a traditional burial ground, some say, of the druids.
Do you want to come with us upstairs? Or would you like
Oh,
to stay
I've
here?
not been upstairs for a long time. Not since the lightning went through the floor. No.
Alright, let's go.
As we're moving, I'll take out the book, The Myth of Kazan,
Yep.
and start reading it like a fairy tale. Once upon a time,
Do you want me to
long
go
ago.
straight
Yeah,
to
no,
that?
Oh,
I
and
was
that's
gonna
the
tell.
one.
I was gonna tell the story
Oh, okay.
of the one shot, but basically as a fairy tale. So
Okay,
once
there
upon
you
a
can-
time, there was a nice elderly man. Thought he was fighting for his
And he's very happy. And every now and again, you just get this sort of chuckling. Oh, that's a good story. And chuckling. So, in terms of books that you found when you did all of those investigations, you've got Fanes of Barovia, which you've already got. Battle at the Gates of Zelenka. I'll add them all to your folder. Wines of Barovia.
Ooh!
Don't
we already have that?
I'm not sure you have Wines of
No, we've got the
Barovia.
article.
Sorry,
for
what?
it.
Somebody mentioned wine.
The Wines of Barovia. You have got a journal.
Yeah, 'cause haven't we been told that there's only one?
There's a journal that appears to be written by somebody called Rudolf von Richten.
Maybe it has the
Von
recipe. Dot soup to
Ben
be
Richter's
connected.
acted it. Oh, Ravenloft.
For sure, but none of us characters know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting excited.
So there appears to be a journal here from somebody called Rudolf von Richten.
Well, he's
Um,
probably an idiot.
No, we've got something by Ben Richten already, I think.
There's Songs of the Sunblade. There's another copy of the Myth of Kazan.
Yeah, we've got Ben Richten's Monster Hunter's Handbook.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So we do know about him.
There's a book of Barovian
Monster
poems,
Hunter.
and you've got a copy of the Monster Hunter's Guide. Okay. So you've got a whole collection of spurious books.
This will keep Antoinette busy.
I will add all the spurious books for you into the thing. So at the moment, the platform is suspended between the second floor and the third floor because there was a lot of upping and downing and downing and upping, and the stone chain keepers are a little bit perplexed as to who's going where. Busty yells down over your shoulder, bring it down, boys, down, and it comes down to the level of the second floor.
I will step onto the platform.
Okay,
Ha! Ready for battle.
you go up to the third floor, and the third floor,
Pretty.
it's pretty, isn't it? The northwest corner.
The ceiling looks like that.
So this is the
I-
top floor, I assume?
This is the third floor. You think there's a floor above this,
Yes.
but the northwest corner of this room is extensively damaged. It looks like there's been some kind of powerful blast up here, or some kind of explosion. And then the passage of time and the exposure to the elements from that big hole in the wall has sort of left their mark. It's weathered and worn. There's sort of very aged and dusty equipment that looks like stargazing and astronomy on a desk. And you don't need really any kind of an arcana check to say that this is an enchanted ceiling. You've not seen the stars at any point when you've been in Barovia. It's been misty and dark and cloudy. It's been misty and dark and cloudy, and you've not seen the stars at all. And you think that this is either what the sky used to look like before Barovia became enshrouded in mist, or what he would like the sky to look like. Unclear, because you've not seen the sky here.
I'll explain to him. These
What are stars?
There. That's that.
beautiful sparkling lights in the sky that I believe come from the god of light. Shining little
Could
bits
they
of
just
bright
be balls
throughout
of
the
gas
sky.
floating in the infinite void of sky?
That's ridiculous.
Why
When
down
you
little
when you
light?
impart some druidic wisdom on how the stars are the memories of the
Come on,
lives of
Pumba.
the
And Busty goes, "Oh, It's so lovely up here. Oh, the telescope, the ancillary sphere. Oh, that causes a little trouble. I remember it well. He seems to chuckle to himself.
Can I do a look around for any
Yes.
magic items, interesting bits and bobs,
Yes.
a large red gem?
Yes.
Keep looking at the stars, and that's what I can say.
Will you let me do perception? Or...
Back in
That
my
looks like a rabbit.
You can roll
Back
perception
in
if you
the
want to.
days when I used to live on what I thought was a huge coast, I used to sit there at night and see stars and the beauty of creations.
26.
You see, with a 26, you see 2 items up here. They're on a desk. They're relatively covered in dust. You see a telescope, and you see what appears to be. I'm going to pull up see if I can picture. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Let me just put that.
You should take the telescope.
Telescope's great. Telescope's under.
There you go.
Oh, it's a
Sphere thing.
thermometer? Just so, my close?
Sort of. So it appears to, and you definitely get that there's something arcane about this. The telescope, you can roll investigation if you want to look at it in more detail. So there's 2 items. There's a telescope and then there's this weird sphere.
16 investigation on the telescope.
Can I? I'll help.
So-
Help actually.
Okay, so with 16 on telescope, you this is it looks almost ancient. It's there's the name Kazan engraved on the side of the telescope, and as you pick it up and look through it, as you look around, everything through it is crystal clear and twice its size. So it works very well at magnifying. It will sort of double perception, so you'll get advantage on perception of things over distance if you're using that. You also get a feeling that there's something arcane about this, in addition to its use as a telescope.
Could I try an arcana check, or is it more of a...
It would be an arcana check.
I've got a 23 with a natural 20 arcana check.
And on the ball, okay. So on the ball, you this is something that Bosty has just said is an armillary sphere. It's used for plotting the stars, and those and you. Quinny say you can feel it. There is magic aura, sort of aura coming off this, and the Busty chuckles and goes, "Oh, this caused that hole," and you think that if you spin this and get the stars within it to align, it generates lightning.
Ooh.
So mechanically, it generates a directable lightning bolt. You look at it and you can see within it that there's lots of tiny little levers, and it with that investigation, that if you spin it, all of those levers will align and almost come to a small focused point on the one side. As an action, you can hold it. It takes 2 hands, so you need both hands to use it. So you can't use it while wielding a weapon. So 1 hand to use it, 1 hand to spin it, and it will cast lightning bolt. And that then depletes its power. It recharges during the night under the moon, and regains its power over 24 hours. Yep.
Investigation check on the telescope. So behind the lens, see if the magnifying item is the gem.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yep.
fun. That's cool. That's 22 arcana as well.
Okay. On the telescope.
That's a dirty 20.
So you can't see in any way in here, in any of this equipment, you can't find the gem. You are sure that the gem is not in here.
Right.
In terms of the lightning, that's straightforward 3rd level lightning bolt. So 100-foot line, 1 action, 5 foot wide, all the rest. So it just casts a 3rd level lightning bolt.
That's pretty fun as a free once a day.
As a free once a day.
You use a weapon, don't you? Do you use a weapon? Give us a moment.
Oh yeah.
3rd level lightning bolt.
He's usually pretty close on that though.
Yeah,
The
I don't
arcade's
use-
not really my.
Like,
Your
use a
inner
weapon.
Valdis wants
I reckon either me or
Well, Valdis would totally take it. But like,
you have some of your pain stuff that uses weapon, don't you?
yeah, I can
Cool.
now.
So probably Antoinette.
For now, yeah, probably.
yeah.
Okay. At some point, I'll add all these in as weapons, but I can send you the details. And then the telescope, you think that you can use this to point if you have an idea at a location and scry through this telescope.
That's very fun.
Okay. So if the person that you are scrying on is in the direction in which you are aiming your telescope, then your scrying spell works as if you have something of the person's. Yeah.
So you still need to cast scrying?
So it casts scrying. So you don't need to cast scrying. So it will scry once a day. If the person is in the direction that you're aiming at. So if you aimed it at Vasily von Holtz's house and he's there, you can scry as if you have something of Vasily von Holtz's to focus that spell. If he's not in his house, if he's in Barovia village, the spell fails. So it doesn't allow you to use it. It's a focused scry, if that makes sense. Yeah? So it wouldn't allow you to, if he's gone off somewhere else. No, so you're pointing in the right direction. So if you pointed at Valaki and go, I'm looking for this person, and they're not in Valaki, they're in Kresk, the spell will automatically fail. Yeah, if you pointed it in the general direction of Castle Ravenloft and tried to scry on Strahd and Strahd is home, then maybe. Yeah. Okay?
Sweet.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's all that appears to be here.
I'll hang on to that unless anyone wants it.
No, you've got
Anything else you
Don't
want
have
to have a look at here, Busty, before we move up another floor?
No. He's just looking around fondly. He's like, are you taking the telescope? I'd definitely take the telescope. Telescope, beautiful for looking at the stars, the telescope. Be careful with that spinning thing. Bloody dangerous, I think, if you ask me. But, it is what it is. You going up again? Are we going up to the top? I think we should. Okay. He shouts down the sort of holes in the floor, up, and the floor goes up to the top. And there's a small chamber up here. This is it's sort of almost like a home chamber. A suit of armor stands in the sort of north part of this chamber next to a desk. There's a small iron stove in the east, a bed in the southwest corner. The walls are all covered in notes and drawings and sketches and maps and all sorts of things.
Interesting.
This is your master's old office stuff.
Oh, no, it's certainly somebody's old office. That's what I would say. It does look like an office. There's a desk there. It also looks like a bedroom because there's a bed over there. You can see it. Yes. I would make those assumptions too. I think we are together on this. Yes.
Is there like a bedside drawer or anything?
I don't know. Have a look next to the bed.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
I think he was asking the DM.
I'm asking the DM, but anyway, I'll go have a look. Thanks for all your help, Busty.
You've got eyes on your head, don't you? You can use them, yeah?
I'm going to see if there's a drawer for the desk.
Okay.
I already just said I was doing that.
Oh, you're going to the desk? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. So you're looking at the desk. You're looking at the bedside. So Etherdway, have a look at that bedside table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a bedside table?
Spyglass, that's what it's called.
There is a bedside table. Yeah, there's like a little table by the bed. Yeah.
Is there anything on it? Or is there a drawer or anything?
There is a note on the top of the bedside table.
And, well, alright.
It's a little love note.
Take care of Busty.
Well, I can't read it, so I'm going to go over to,
Okay.
somewhere someone who can.
Oh
So
yeah, true. Yeah.
What does this say?
Is
Okay,
this
and
important?
roll while you're over there. Roll an investigation check. So that was just lying around. So that was nice and easy.
10.
Not difficult as you pick the note up. Your foot hits something that appears to be just sort of slid underneath the bed. It's sort of caught on the edge, and as you look down, on the floor under the bed is an iron box, which appears to be locked.
Okay, can I?
It's the lock.
Well, hang on.
I'm a bit nervous about now because the last
Is it investigation to search for traps?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'll help you look for traps. I'll do it.
What did I miss?
With what?
Do it with advantage.
He found a note and a iron box underneath the
Iron blocks.
12.
Oh no.
You
You can add a d4 to that as well.
Guidance. Hang on. 16.
There's a moment there where you think that very long pick's actually going to snap for the first time in a very long time, and a tiny bead of sweat starts to pop on your brow that you might suddenly, maybe it was the alchemist's fire that's put you off slightly, and then suddenly your nerve settles and the lock pops open.
Oh, lovely.
Thanks for the guidance.
As you open the box, there appears to be within a meticulously crafted pommel of a sword.
I think I know what this does.
Does the book about the sword have any pictures of
Yeah.
You can have a look.
it? Yeah.
Ah.
I'll
Are we
ask
filming
Anthony now.
When you'll
Randall
pick up
sword
the
again?
pommel
So long.
and hand it to Harley.
Yeah, I'll grab the pommel and I'll say to her, like, is this similar to the one in your book?
Do I find anything in the book?
Yeah, so you think that this is the pommel for the sun sword,
Nice.
for the sun blade. It looks like it's made of gold. It doesn't appear to be emanating in itself any magical aura, but you think that this would fit. This would be in keeping with the sunblade.
So we just
Harley
need
can
fun
wrap
blade.
it in cloth and put it at the bottom of the backpack for now.
Okay, you've got a really important backpack. Okay.
Do not
Um,
lose this backpack, guys.
Hang on, sorry. So it doesn't? Does it work?
The pommel doesn't appear to be. It appears to be a pommel.
Oh, I
Without
thought
a
some
blade.
blades You just got a pommel to made a blade of
No.
fire. No, okay.
No, it doesn't appear to.
No, I think we need to send this.
I get a
Okay.
I got a
Uh,
pang of regret that I think this thing's worth some coin. Like,
Um,
I've got a
Yep.
21 investigation for the desk.
Okay, so on the desk, you find what appears to be a wooden box. It's sitting there. It doesn't appear to be locked. Seems to be quite heavy, but just sitting there.
Check for traps.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for traps.
That's some
I'll
guidance.
help.
Would you rather do 4 as well?
What is investigation? For traps?
Yes,
Non-trapped.
19.
Not trapped.
Cool. I'll open it.
Inside the box appears to be a severed head.
Okay.
What does the head look like?
Does it look like Busty?
It doesn't look like Busty. Busty
Is it-
goes,
is it
"Oh
just
my
this-
goodness, who's put that in there?"
Is there still flesh on, or is it just this?
No, this appears to be. It appears to have been preserved. You recognise some of the smells of herbs that priests would use to try and preserve bodies that might not be buried for a while. So you think this has been deliberately preserved and put in this box.
What does the head look like?
It looks human. You would guess from the features that human, male, maybe 30s, definitely dead.
The head is dead. That's good to know.
Lift its lips to see if I see any fangs.
Can I do an osteoarchaeology check?
An osteoarchaeology check. You think that this head belonged to a human. Roll investigation or perception, either or.
Oh, that was really 25.
Oh, with the 25, you think that the bone structure and facial features are most in keeping, judging by all the people that you've seen in Brovia so far, as Vistani.
Okay.
That would be your and you also, as you sniff, you recognise the smell of lavender and some sage and something slightly chemical that you would probably use in a poison, but that's been used as a preservative.
And
Okay.
I'll check the lips to see if there's fangs.
No thanks. Busty goes, oh, another friend. Wonder what he's doing here. You should talk to him.
Have we got a scroll of Speak with Dead somewhere? I'm sure we found one of those a while ago.
I don't think so, but I might be wrong.
Can I just try speaking to the head?
You can try and speak.
Yeah, try and
I'll message into its head, into the head's head,
Yeah.
and I'll say,
I do have water.
There you go.
"Hello."
No response.
Prepared all the wrong spells.
The head appears to be dead.
Hand up its neck and grab the mouth and go, hello, how are you?
Busty
Wow,
goes,
you got Hobbit too.
It's just very immature.
Busty goes, you know,
You can. Of
You
course
should-
you are.
I know.
you could just speak to it, you know. Speaking to the dead is not a difficult skill. Even I could do it.
Would you mind?
Yeah, I don't have.
Are there particular things you wish to ask before I wake it up? The dead don't tend to like chatting, generally speaking. Not like me.
We can't
I love
waste
chatting.
We can't waste our questions.
How
You can waste your questions. You are welcome to waste your questions.
We don't want to waste
Alternatively, this head is in a box. How big is this box? Can we just
Head
carry this box
sized.
with us until it becomes
Head
obvious
sized.
why there's a decapitated head here?
Taking 2 heads of
I mean, there's 6 of us. Like,
You can have a head each.
yeah.
So you've got a dragon skull, a decapitated head, and a talking bus.
There's got to be a reason there's a preserved decapitated head in this box, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
To talk to.
Maybe, well, yeah, but maybe we don't just waste the one because you can only speak with dead once, yeah.
No.
What? Were you talking to me? You're talking to me?
No, I'm talking to God.
Oh, to me. Busty is certainly appears to be confident that he can talk to him. Unclear whether Busty can do that once
Busty, can
or more than once, or not sure.
Busty, how often can you talk to the dead?
Well, I
You
don't
get
know. I've
the
not
same
tried
dead
it more.
person?
I've not tried it for a long, long time, but I could definitely do it. Definitely. Skills. That's what I say. I have skills.
Whatever you like. I reckon it might be a mistake to just talk to the
Because I'm a meta gamer.
It might cover.
Or it doesn't work twice with them.
Oh, within 10 days. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever.
We don't have all these things
I-
solved in 10 days, right?
Yeah.
I think when
I'd let you talk to it whenever if you want to just burn spell slots to talk with the dead and carry the head around and just chat with it every now and then. You're welcome to do so. I wouldn't make you do that in days. You can just like chat
Oh,
to
okay,
the
cool.
random
That's-
collection of stuff you're carrying around.
Was it in this campaign that we went into the chamber where there was all these heads in vials? Or
Yes.
that was-
No, that was everything.
That was Evergreen.
Alright.
That was one that
I
Galen
also
runs,
as well.
as opposed to one that you run
And
with
that's
towers.
That's why I thought about university. I got us mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ream. They are very similar. It's
Yeah.
all so. So we could take him. I mean, I'm fairly sure there's room in this backpack. I'll sit on top of the box if you like. Head on another head, like a tower.
Harleen is gonna say, prefer somebody else to actually take this one.
I'm not sure like
Getting a
Bossy
bit,
more than George.
I think we're gonna have Bossy hang out with George.
I think Bossy too.
Torment that poor man.
Replace George with Busty.
What if
No, I think Bossy will just make George.
Who's
Hey,
George?
you know how there's the
no, Bossy
Which one of you's
doesn't-
called George?
George is
George
an old friend
is a
of
friend
mine
of
who
ours.
rescued.
Bossy doesn't like.
Is it the Larky that has
Tinklefoot.
the power vacuum at the moment?
Yep.
I think we institute a new head of government. Sorry, Chris, that's just that joke.
It'd be a much better.
What, the power vacuums? Vacuum? What? Dead. There's a
Well,
head
he doesn't
here.
have a
Are we
voice.
carrying the head? Are we talking to this head? What's the plan, people?
I think we make
Friends?
his head in the box in charge of
Was it though?
Okay. What do we reckon? Let's take the head with us.
Instead of like the sun
Should we
festival.
chat to him
or
before we take him?
whatever,
He might not be
the
happy
Happy
with it.
Festival.
We can do it multiple times then, so it's not.
Do you know how many questions we can ask the dead?
I believe it's
Without pissing him off?
5, isn't it?
Who
Off the top
are
of my head.
you? Where is the
Yeah.
mountain gem?
Yeah.
Where is Kazan?
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
What?
African or European?
Yeah, what is your favorite color? Yeah. No. What? And are you okay with us taking you with you?
Oh yeah, asking for consent to take
Yes.
it with us.
I'm loving the consent thing. Very nice. Very good. Okay.
Very noble of
Do you want me?
I
You
used to
want
find
you
this
want him
very
to talk to
boring,
you?
but now I'm becoming friends with.
I'm unclear friends. Do you want him to talk and tell you stories? He could tell me stories. It would be interesting. I've not met him
Make
before.
the head talk.
Make the head talk. Okay. Okay. And you hear some mumbling, and then the head rises and out of this box and sits on the top of the box and takes this sort of shuddering breath. You almost see the air going up inside the cut neck of this skull, and then there's this sort of sighing and Butty's like, "You can ask it questions, go for it."
Hello. What is your name?
Sorry.
Question one.
That's why I said.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
What is your name?
Yeah.
Asking further questions.
I was just repeating the name.
Where's the red gem?
I don't know of any
Fucking great help you are.
How did you know Kazan?
When you say, there's a couple of things that happen. He goes, I don't know, Kazan. But as you say the word Kazan, the armour that's standing by the desk,
Armor?
there was a suit of armour by the desk that was just 5 pieces, stands to attention.
Oh.
And he's
It stands to twos.
That's good.
Good job, Clooney. That could
How
have
did
been
you
bad.
die?
Quinny sits in the nearest chair and just starts undoing a bottle of wine.
Harleen hasn't put the bottle she was drinking from outside away. This is all so much.
I had my head chopped off.
Is that 4?
That's 4. Yeah. Are you okay with us? No, I want to ask him if he's okay with us taking you with us.
No, we need to know.
you should ask how long
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I would
Why?
Or how you
Why
end
are you
up.
preserved
Just take
as
him
a
without
kid in a
consent.
box?
The dead do not mind.
Very rude.
Van Richten kept me for questions.
Ooh.
There's the last question. We can't ask him more questions. Oh, why didn't we ask him first?
And he goes, And Busty goes, well, that was a good story, wasn't it? Jan, interesting. Who's this Van Richten? Van Richten? And he sort of stops and he goes, he stayed here for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
When?
That's the guy we were looking for.
Van Richten.
Yeah.
He stayed here.
Well, we assume he's dead.
Quite recently, but not as recently as you coming here. But within the last, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 5 years? To and fro.
10:25.
Before or after the woman?
Before or after who?
The woman?
Oh, the woman. Before.
Before the woman with hair. Okay.
And with the woman. But generally before.
And with the woman.
Huh?
So,
Thanks, with the one.
came with the before the woman and with the woman.
It's his girlfriend.
I don't. Do you want to read the note that Ethid we've got? Ethid, we had a note.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll read the note.
You read the note.
I don't think.
And then there's some sketches and some drawings on the wall and some bits. You don't need to investigate. I can just tell you what's in here. Nothing's hidden really, other than the pommel. Rudolph, I have returned to the tower, but it seems you left some time ago. I've gathered information about Strahd and his consorts, leaving it for you. Please come back soon. I'll be temporarily away. We'll return before the next moonrise. Stay safe, Esmeralda.
Upon reading that, Harley,
Have you met
I think this letter might be.
I have no idea who
important
Esmeralda is.
And should
Have we met Esmeralda?
You've not met anyone called
Does
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda wear a top hat?
Pardon?
Does Esmeralda wear a top hat?
Not that you're aware of. You don't know of an Esmeralda.
I'm going to speak to
We know
to
that as
Busty. My
Uh,
I know an Esmeralda. She's the character from.
Hunchback Notre Dame.
You don't know of an Esmeralda, as far as you're aware.
I'm going to talk to Mr. Gibbs and be like, Busty. So,
Busty the head, is that what
as opposed to Busty the chest.
Sorry, Busty. Yes. Talking in my head is very strange. My head is very hard. It takes a while to penetrate.
Do you think you could attempt to speak with the head again?
What, right this minute? You've just spoken with the head.
He left us dangling.
Well, you asked stupid questions, didn't you?
If you have better questions, we would love to know.
I asked Harry.
Well, you might. I don't know. Well, what would you want to know? Maybe you should think that before you talk to him, and then you could ask him those things.
Shall we write down all the questions we want to ask and write them for what's
I cannot talk to him right now, but I could talk to him again tomorrow with no troubles at all. Yes. If you want to carry him around, we could chat. Absolutely
Sounds
fine.
good. Let's do that.
In terms of just other stuff, and then we'll wrap up. There's the suit of armor is now standing at ease at the end of the
Can
desk.
Antoinette just constantly be saying, Kazan, at ease?
Every time you say Kazan, it stands to attention and looks at you
At ease.
like it's waiting for a command,
At
and
ease.
then stands at ease.
Is Kazana
She finds this really funny.
a person, isn't it?
Yeah,
Can I-
Kazan's the wizard.
Seeing this, when you say Kazan,
Stands to attention,
step forward,
moves forward.
present arms.
It has a sort of almost like a bayonet, and stands like Dad's army style with a
Can you
bayonet.
speak?
Doesn't say anything.
At ease, that'd be very useful.
It stands at ease.
Could be Andy to bring along.
Yeah. We got 3 companions.
Not to be boring, but could be handy.
A suit of armor.
A suit of armor that
I mean,
follows
the
instructions.
fact that it responds to
that's
Kazan.
cool.
Can I try something a bit more? Can I hand it like can I like tip out a pack of rations on the desk and say put the rations back in the bag?
Yeah.
Can it manage that?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's gonna be great.
Nice.
Thank you.
I thought he was going to attack us, but he's now
You know
afraid.
constructs have will too.
It stands at ease.
Oh
So there's
Can we take the elevator people with us as well?
God. So On the wall near the desk is a piece of paper that has several sketches, each labelled with a name.
Yep.
In
with
the
names
centre,
up, down.
in the centre of this piece of paper is a symbol of what appears to be a raven, and you recognise it as the crest of Strahd, and the name Strahd is underneath it, just in case there was any doubt. Below that symbol, there are 3 sketches depicting women, labelled Ludmilla, Anastasia, Lissa, and then adjacent to them is a sketch of a man named Escher. And then to the left of the top row, where Strahd is in the centre, to the left is a man named Rahadin.
We know Rahadin. He's Strahd's Undorn guy, right?
Yeah. And then there's sort of some annotations. So it's almost like a suspect board for a crime scene investigation. So there's Rahadin, Chamberlain, Ravenloft, sort of almost like in bullet points underneath. Then you've got the symbol of Strahd, and then on the right of that symbol you've got Lady Fiona Watcher, unknown, underneath. And then you've got Ludmilla, Anastasia, Lissa, Bride, Escher, Consort.
Interesting. Does Escher look like the other 3?
No, Escher looks like probably an elven man. And the other 3 all... Lissa looks like Lissa. You recognise Lissa. The other 2 don't look the same.
So that was Anastasia and Ludmilla?
Ludmilla, Anastasia, Lissa. There's a map of Barovia with a circle around the mountains to the northwest marked werewolves, which you would recognise as where the werewolf den is. And that is it up here.
Do we know what Vicious Monk's name was?
I think it was
Do we know Vash's mother's name? Anyone else Vash their mother's name?
I could tell you, but I can't tell you off the top of my head.
That's alright.
Is it one of those 3 names?
No.
Okay.
And only one of those 3 women looks, and that's Lissa.
Okay.
The other 2 just look like random women through various points in history. So some look have different tastes. Yeah. Okay. So my understanding is that you're trying to leave this tower with a busty, a head in a box, a suit of armour that appears to follow commands.
I asked the suit of armour to carry the box with the head in it.
Okay, suit of armour.
Suit of armour. Would you like to carry it?
I asked.
Okay, yeah.
The suit of armour is carrying the head of the box in it.
Why don't you just put the head in the helmet?
That sounds like a really bad idea. I don't know why.
The suit of armour is carrying the head in a box, and you're heading back down this tower? Okay. Fair enough, Skip.
No gem.
There is no gem in this tower.
No clues to gem.